Alright, my name is Anna Gret, and I sort of kind of just finished this, so I've never really told this one in front of people. Alright, so the other day I had a really self-identifying dream. I found myself on a farm surrounded by thousands of acres of land. And I cradled the seeds. I impatiently watched coming it all together. I swallowed my pride. I was a sausage tree farmer. I had everything. I had different sizes, colors, flavors, tastes, everything for a little hunger, for the little big hunger, and something round for every hole. I was the Snoop Dogg of sausages. I was sizzling and drizzling. I was this Jesus of sausages. I was walking on bologna. I was the Oprah of sausages. Everybody, you're going home with a sausage tonight. Everybody, look under your seats. You get a sausage, you get a sausage, and you get a sausage. We even held annual sausage fests. There was competitions. It wasn't so much about the sizes as well as about the ability to satisfy. And then I woke up. And I guess I can't cancel my order of 23andMe. I am German after all. And anybody want to go for Polish with me later? Maybe? So either way, so after all of this, I'm thinking I should really focus on a protein style kind of diet, because I've gained a lot of weight over the last couple of months. Birth control. It's working fine. Nobody wants to fuck me. That's it. Thanks.
That's a good joke. Yeah.
Alright, so.
Well, I know this bit from previous other versions of it. I don't think it works in the way you're delivering it right now by going, I was a sausage farmer, because it's not a punchline yet, because nobody knows you. They don't know you're German, they don't know.
So what I was thinking is, if I did the first joke, I still wanted to be like, everybody's always asking me, do I like sausages? So it would be the joke after that one. Then people would already know that I have like a weird feeling about sausages. Does that make sense?
Well, speaking just objectively as somebody who doesn't know you, I didn't really get that it was why you were having that dream. So maybe if you set it up first that the 23andMe,
okay,
like that you're German and maybe you've been thinking a lot about it,
okay,
and it's coming out in your subconscious, like now you're dreaming about sausages. And then, I mean, I think there was like too much lead up at the beginning, like too much, like I was a sausage farmer and I was this kind, like I was a farmer and I was holding the seeds, and maybe I would just get right into it and be like, in fact, I'm thinking about it so much, like I had a dream I was a sausage farmer, like if there's such a thing. Where I worked in a sausage factory and I was like, my whole world was sausages, and it's like, there was this kind of, I don't know, was it supposed to be like a dick reference too?
Yes, I kind of tried that bit.
I work in a sausage fest, but not what you're thinking.
Yeah, I didn't really get,
Okay.
I didn't get that you were making it sexual.
Alright, fair enough.
What made you think of like talking about sausages?
Because I really had a dream of me planting sausages and they grew into trees.
Oh. Well, what if you started saying like, I haven't had sex in a while, and I had a dream and I'm not sure if it was sexual. What do you guys think? And then it was like, I dreamt that I worked at this, like, that I was a sausage farmer and I was holding the sausages, and while they grew from little, just little tendril sausages into big Peronis or whatever, and I was like letting everybody share my I was harvesting. Okay. That would be kind of funny if you talked about it, like made it really direct, but then you're not, but you're pretending you're still talking about sausages.
Okay,
you're like,
yeah, I like that.
Right?
Cool.
And you just keep and it just sounds so dirty, and you're like, and then there was this giant Peroni and it had the taste, it was so pungent or whatever, and then you're like, but I was sharing the sausages with my friends. I was the, I mean, that could be pretty funny if you're just making it like over the top sensual.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Right? That could work.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And everybody wanted to give me their sausages. Then I was like, that's too much sausage. I can't handle these
I'm not that
sausages.
German.
I'm not that kind of girl. Not that kind of sausage farmer.
The sausage was
And then I was like, I think I've had enough sausage. I'm full. Or that could be just funny if you're
I'll
like,
focus on buns for a minute.
yeah.
Okay.
That's funny when
Yeah,
you focus on buns.
buns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
And then I love your birth control joke. I don't think it needs to be connected at all to the
Okay.
sausage thing.
All right. Good.
But what if you opened with that, and then you were like, so no one wants to fuck me, and then you're like, in fact, I haven't had sex in a while. In fact, I had a dream. Tell me if you think it's sexual.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Cool. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. Got it. Awesome. Thank you.
Nice. Good job, Honey Grit. Hi, Erica. No, I'm not saying you have to go up. I was just saying hi.
I was like, oh my god. Okay.
I'm not going to force you to get up there next. How are you?
Okay.
Just okay?
That's okay.
Well, your hair looks cool.
I'm sorry.
Well, thank you.
Jen. Jen D'Angelo.
Jen D'Angelo. I'm still learning my way around this one. Guys, I am so single. I'm so single, and I've tried everything. I've tried mutual friends. I've tried dating apps. I've tried getting naked on the first date on national television. Not making that up. I was on an episode of Dating Naked. You can take your phones out right now, dig through vh1.com, and it's not just some random white chick with her tits out, it's me. But eyes up here, don't look at your phone. So I'm cast on this show a few years ago, and I am pumped to do it. But people had some responses to this when they found out I was going to be on the show. My mom is in tears. Girls at work are telling me I'm going to be fired. My dad is like, take me with you. He got it. He's a man. I go off to Bora Bora. That's where it was filmed. And I leave with a surprisingly heavy suitcase because I thought I was going to be there for a while. I was eliminated immediately. It took 48 hours to travel there and back, and I was there for 48 hours. Yeah, my date did not like me very much. My date did not like me very much. Like, why did I think this was going to be any different? Just because I was in paradise with all the free alcohol you could ask for, all the dicks you could look at just flopping around. None of them were hard, not for me. I never saw a single boner on this trip. I never got the chance because I was gone too soon. And you know, it definitely wasn't because of what I look like. I mean, hello. It was because of my personality. The second I opened my mouth, I could see this guy's eyes glaze over as I was talking about my cats and my 4th grade teacher. I thought I was making very funny conversation. It turned out it was just weird as fuck. So off I went back home to New York, and I just thought, what could possibly top this? What could be more extreme than dating naked? So I went to LA, and it turns out it's worse.
Yeah, it sure is.
Can I say that I think this would, be such a great story for a storytelling show?
I did it for the storytelling.
Oh, you did? Because I think though I would want to hear, like, I was listening to it going, I want to hear the whole story. Like, I want to hear what happened. Like, how did you get cast on it? Then what happened, like, the first day you get there? Then when do you take off your clothes? Yeah. Like, I want to hear the whole story. And I just love the whole idea of, like, that once you were naked, things were fine until you started talking. Like you would think it would be the other way around. Like you know what I mean? You'd think like, you know, it's the reverse of you were like, okay, the clothes are off. Like this is good. As soon as I start talking about my cats, like I want to know what I don't know. I feel like some things are harder to make into a stand-up bit. Although you could do. I almost think it's too juicy just to narrow down to like.
That's why I held back from doing this in my last showcase, because this could be an hour-long story. There's so much that happened. And I already did it for a storytelling thing, and even then there were things I had to cut out. But it's funny, part of me almost wants to be like, if you want to hear more about this, come see me at my next show. Like, because I can't fit it all.
I mean, you could just, if you were just doing it for stand-up, you could kind of go like, blend it into things you've done to try to get dates.
Yeah.
Like I even did a game show, I even did Dating Naked.
Yeah.
I did a game show where you have to take off your clothes or whatever, and that part went well until I started talking about my cats or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just, I would almost either make it really long and do it at storytelling shows and even keep honing it until, and it would be a great story written too, that you could write it for a magazine. I mean, that's a juicy
Or a blog.
story.
Yeah. Really
You could
good.
submit it to a magazine and get paid for that story.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Although, I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it on stage. I would just have to figure out what parts of it, because I just don't want you to do it and then have people going, but wait, but what happened? But is
Yeah,
that real?
that's
like,
what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions that come up as you're listening.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Unless you just said what the show is, and then you're like, here's the premise.
I mean, I could totally. I have another bit I was going to try today that's about a terrible dating story in LA. So I could be like, guys, I'm so single. I've tried this, I've tried that. I even tried going on the show. If you want to know more about this, I'll give you my number later. Maybe we can go on a date or something like that. And then go into a story about it.
I mean, you could go into it. I'm just saying, I think I would say what the show is. Here's what happens. They have these contestants, and you take off your clothes, and then you go on a date, which should have worked out better than it did. The naked part was fine, and then I started talking about my cats, and I lost them, and I mean, that just could be, we need to blend it into like what really happens in dating. Maybe you could say it's like very similar to real life dates.
Well, I was thinking like I could go more into like, why did I think this would be any different? I mean, I had no clothes on. There was so much alcohol, and it still didn't work out. Like, if I can't make that
And they
work.
still didn't want to hear about my cats, or
That's funny.
or my fourth grade
Yeah.
teacher. What, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
what if you started it out by going, you know, guys, there's this game show. Is it a game show?
It's not a game show. It's kind of like they changed the format in the second season. So it was almost like The Bachelor and the Bachelorette combined. There's one main guy and one main girl, but naked, and they just go on dates with different people in every episode. And I was just a random girl that was driving me with.
And you
So
were naked.
I think you need to say that. I think you need to start out by going, so there's a show, it's called Dating Naked, and the premise is there's this, and then they go out with all these random people. Like, who would be on that
Who
show?
does that? Me.
I was. yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
That's how desperate I am to find a relationship. I will get naked. Not
Yeah.
just on the first date, but before you even meet.
On television.
Yeah.
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 That's funny.
Yeah.
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 Nothing else is working.
Yeah.
That didn't work either.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a lot of good jokes within it.
There's so much.
Yeah.
So much.
But I would make fun of the show first and then go,
Yeah,
yeah,
I like that.
me.
Yeah, that's
I
a
like
good
that.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Nice.
even be like, it's so creepy.
Yeah.
People get naked.
Just
right
go, who
before
would
you go
do
on-
that?
Yeah.
That's so
Okay,
funny.
I
That's
did.
gross.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Being on a show like
Yeah.
that would attract so many stalkers. I didn't get any.
Yeah. Not one soccer.
Or you could be like, yeah, there's this show and these people date naked and they go out on random dates and you have to take your clothes off. And so when I did it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was, and then
Yeah.
you just,
Do you think I should mention what I did on my date at all, or kind of just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Was it funny?
yeah? We went swimming with stingrays and sharks.
Fun.
It was a crazy day.
Funny.
It's a crazy 48 hours.
It's combines dating naked and naked and afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was mostly petrified.
Yeah, and you're like, my particular episode
Was
combined.
You're thinking afraid.
and Shark Week. Combined 3 things.
Sharknado coming right up my list.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Do it.
All right.
That's right.
Yeah, we're just doing the one
Okay.
for now, and then we'll just get up a couple times.
I mean, these are kind of short.
Okay.
So I was watching a documentary called Lot Lizards. Do y'all know what that is?
Yes.
It's about there she is. No, so I was watching Lot Lizards. It's about prostitutes that work at truck stops, and I found out that good to know there's always a fallback plan. And so there's this woman who got syphilis, so she's blind and she has no teeth. And she made the most money. She made $1,500 a week. So now when a guy's like, hey, baby, you want to go on a date? I go, no. I'm all teeth, baby. Sorry. I was trying to think of like men like women with no teeth that are blind. So I wanted to kind of show off my teeth and be like, you know, guys don't like teeth on their penis, like dick sucking. Okay, no? Like, does that make sense? Okay. Being like, I die. Okay. Come on, Lisa. You know.
I'm thinking.
Think about it.
I'm thinking a funnier way to go would be like, this woman made $1,500 a week. What am I doing wrong? You know?
Yeah.
Going to the dentist?
Going to the dentist, having my
That's
teeth.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just, like, you know, here I am, just making mistakes left and right, you know?
Make a mistake getting my teeth cleaned every 6 months. I just
Wearing contacts.
Wearing contacts and getting my teeth cleaned. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Taking my antibiotics.
Taking antibiotics. This is bullshit. And then I had another one that was like,
Clearing up infections.
clearing up infections. Any BV sisters? Any BV sisters? Okay. Okay, moving along. I get out of my dreams and into my car, said every creepy man that drives a big white van with no windows. Okay. Chili spaghetti. Do you have one shred of respect for yourself?
That's funny.
That's the one.
I love it. No, I love the truck stop lot lizard one too.
Yeah,
I was just trying to be like, no, don't want to suck your dick. You know, like I feel like guys are scared of people who can see with teeth, and you should definitely.
I don't think that's as funny because I think that that's so direct that people are gonna like sit back for a minute. Like it's almost like aggressive. Like you're like, now I have teeth. Because in actuality, that's weird that they like the lot lizards lady, right? We don't know why they did. So I think Lisa's point is really funny that you're basically going like, what am I doing wrong? Like this lady who has got syphilis, is blind and has no teeth, is getting dates. I must be doing something wrong. And then the thing you go to is like going to the dentist, like taking care of my, you know.
And then I could be like, going to the dentist, wearing contacts. It's probably why I'm a lesbian. Or something like ridiculous, like whatever, man. I don't even know what I care.
Or you could be
about.
like, thank God, I don't need to worry about any of this shit. I'm a lesbian.
Yeah.
Totally.
Being a lesbian. I think you should say, when you say going to the dentist, you gotta, that's a really funny joke. So you have to go, I was watching this and I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? Going to the dentist? Like you gotta say it slow and pause in there because it's gonna get a really big laugh, and then you can roll off the other ones. Wearing contacts, clearing up my infections, being a lesbian, being gay, like whatever. That would be a funny. That's your little extra punchline.
All right.
That's gonna get a huge laugh, but you have to just describe it, the lot lizards thing, because you know you're gonna have a strong punchline, so you can really just go, oh my God, there was this lady on there. And like do a little impression of it or whatever. Her going, hey, Spanish.
Trying to find the door to the truck.
Yeah, do that.
You guys want some pussy?
Oh my God, do that. Do that.
So,
Yes.
like, you guys want some cookies?
Yeah.
Act it out. Do that, and then and I'm watching this and I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? And then go, and you know what? She made the most money. She made $1,500. That's gonna get a big laugh because you just acted it out. And
She
then
makes her own hours. God damn it! She's living the dream.
Talk about blind date.
She travels. Talk about a blind date. That's good.
that's funny. It's gonna be a killer bit.
Netflix also.
I love it.
Good job, Lisa.
Jane.
Ready.
Jane.
My name's Jane Johnson, but you can just call me White Noise Machine. Just like an AOL dial tone, you know? No, that one. Okay. No, I know what you guys are thinking. Like, I'm a basic bitch. And you're right! Nailed it. I know I'm a basic bitch. I know this because I love succulents. This little baby cactus. I love them so much. I actually consider myself to be a bit of a plant mom. Like, I name all of my little succulents. You know, I've got like Jennifer, Love, Sarah, Michelle. Got so many of them. Well, I did, but then they all died of SIDS.
Oh my God.
Sudden succulent death syndrome. And I feel really shameful about it, but you know, like I can't blame myself for their disease. So yeah, my roommate felt really bad and he tried to cheer me up. So he brought me a new succulent one day because all my other ones died. We named her Matilda. And so I was watering Matilda every single night. Like going out onto the balcony in the dark of night, watering this girl, and she was thriving, okay? Like Matilda was sprouting flowers. She looked amazing. So one day I got really excited to water her. I come out in the daytime and I water her and I'm like, Nick, like what's up with Matilda? She looks waxy. And I'm like, are we sure that Matilda is real? And he's like, no. And I'm like, so you mean to tell me that I've been watering a fake succulent for 2 weeks? It's like, yes. I'm like, how many people have you told about this? He's like, oh, just everyone. You know when like baby birds, like one of the baby birds dies and so the mom feels bad and so she carries like a rock and like harbors a rock. Like I was harboring a rock succulent. But, you know, I felt bad. And then basically I was gonna say like, that I ended up watering her still with all the other succulents because I didn't want her to feel left out.
Is that true?
Well, I don't water her anymore, but I have other succulents now and I keep her with them.
Aww, I love I'm kind of a plant mom.
And then there's like more basically because like my roommate's been gone forever and he's a musician and he has been making me sing to the plants while he's away.
That's good. They can hear you.
I thought it was bullshit and then I saw like actually plants like grow really well, like Harvard or something did a study that plants grow with like Mozart.
Yeah. They do better. Like they
do better with song. I thought it was batshit, but it's like kind of real. So I've been singing to them.
So I took mushrooms yesterday.
You're supposed to talk to plants.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to talk back. That's the,
When you have a
that's when you know something's up.
You're not supposed to talk back. Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot you could do with being a plant mom. Just that, like,
Yeah.
even more stuff about comparing it to babies, though.
Yeah. Oh, shoot, I forgot to say there was one of like,
Like, you could really make fun
saying
of
like a
moms.
miscarriage. I had a miscarriage
Oh, that's funny.
of the plant.
I love the sudden succulent death syndrome. Not to blame myself for their disease. It happens. You know, it's a real thing. Like, I feel like you should almost, SIDS is such a sad thing to say though, so maybe you could just go, it died of sudden succulent death. You know what I mean? Then you're not actually saying, SIDS is a really harsh word. I feel like the audience is going to be like, ooh. But if you don't say SIDS, but then you imply what it is, you know what I mean? If you go, it died of sudden succulent death syndrome.
Yeah.
You know? It died of right? Then you're not saying it, but then when you explain it, everybody knows what you were talking. They're like, then you're gonna get a laugh on when you say sudden succulent death syndrome.
Yeah.
But then you never have to say SIDS.
Yeah,
you never
I
have
think
to say
so, too.
infant death.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
making a joke about like babies dying.
Yeah,
So,
that's not.
which you're
Not
not really
everyone's
making that
favorite.
joke. You're making a joke about plants dying, which is not
And
that
actually,
sad.
it is SSDS, so there's no I actually.
Yeah.
Right. So that's
It
why
works.
it totally works. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So if you died of sudden succulent death syndrome,
Yeah.
then everyone's gonna get the joke, but no one's gonna go like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And then I feel like you can make a lot of jokes. Like maybe you could make a joke about feeding your plants, but like here comes the choo-choo train or whatever. Like you get really into it. Like,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know you're supposed to do what?
It's a sucky death, succulent.
It's a sucky death.
It's something like that.
Say you have a like philosophy, or I don't know, maybe the other plant moms like don't want to hang out with you at the park, or like you know, I mean, you could make so many
that's
just
funny.
jokes that moms will think are funny too.
Yeah, like mom jokes.
You feel like I got a minivan, like I'm into it, you guys. Like
Yeah.
I got a.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I wear my hair like this.
That's funny.
Nurseries for plants. Yeah, there's nurseries. You can put them on top of there.
Oh my
yeah,
God!
yeah.
Yes, about the nursery. Yeah, I get that. If you put them in a nursery. Yeah, I got a mobile like that goes like spins around. Like you know, you can just make yourself sound so sad and like you know.
And now one thing, I didn't understand your very opener about the AOL. Like, what did you mean by that?
I know.
It's like a dial-up. She was doing a dial-up modem.
But
I
I
know that, but I don't know what
I think
that
you should
means.
just open with, I know what you guys are thinking, I'm a basic bitch.
I think so too. I was just trying the other one, but I feel like I also didn't like own it because I know I shouldn't open it. You know what I mean?
But opening with basic bitch is great.
yeah,
I think it's funny.
Yeah, I think I should just open with that because that's like kind of all my topics just like tie back into it. So just
This is the white noise, like, for me, I didn't really understand what your point was.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why I was like, is she saying I just didn't understand what you meant.
Yeah, I
So,
didn't
you know,
either.
I understand what dial-up is, and are you saying you talk like I didn't understand where you were going with it, so I was just, that's the part.
Yeah.
I felt like you were being very self-deprecating, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm just a white noise machine.
yeah,
Or maybe I mistook
Yeah.
that.
yeah. I'm gonna kill it. That bit. I wasn't being like super confident. I'm gonna
I
kill
think it's
it.
just very funny. You're talking earlier about wanting to like work on your brain, your voice and I think saying you're a basic bitch and then kind of laughing at yourself. Like, but I do like all these things could lead into talking about like bad music you love, just like
Yeah.
how you unabashedly like top 40 or what, like
Yeah,
how
because then I can say like I
you're the
don't
only
just
person
do
you know
yoga,
that totally
I
gets
teach
Cardi
it.
B. Oh, I just
Like-
that's oh, that's really funny. Yes.
Yeah, so it's just like I just have like a lot of things that like tie into it.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily like fully identify with a basic bitch, but it's like 90%, so I'm just going with it.
I think you should
You know
go
what
with
I
it
mean?
because if you're calling yourself out on something that's that funny that a lot of people will actually relate to, but
Yeah.
you're that's part of what's really funny about stand-up.
Yeah.
You're saying things that other people won't say.
Yeah,
So it's like
'cause
even if tons of other people are like, oh my god, I'm kind of a basic bitch too. Like that
Yeah.
wouldn't admit it. Like
Because most people like don't actually want to admit that they're a basic
Right,
bitch. Like
right.
most people are like, I'm not like my sister is like basic bitch to a T, and she's like, I'm not a basic bitch, and I'm like, no.
There's something funny about being in denial. Like it's kind of like, hey, it's whatever it sounds to.
Yeah.
first episode that I heard was.
Oh, that's
No, it's
Yeah,
good.
you could just be like, I fought it for a while, but it's just who I am. You know?
Yeah, I got it.
That's funny.
Yeah,
yeah,
and I was like,
And
I'm
you're
not
right.
a basic bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I don't only shop at Whole Foods. I mean, sometimes I go to Gelson's or I don't know.
Yeah, no, like I shop,
Scrubs.
Erewhon, but I can only use that like here. I'm at Erewhon like every day.
So you know what though? If you go somewhere else, you ask them. I mean, I used to do jokes about local things, and I would just say, "What's your local what's your local grocery store? What's your local?" I used to do a joke. Remember, I had a joke about thrifties because it was for Valentine's Day. I'd just be like, "What's your drugstore?" Just find out what their local like high-end thrifties. Yeah.
You brought me back.
Not everybody has like
Ice
CVS. Some
Ice
people would be
cream.
like,
That's
well,
what 2 scoops.
Yeah.
just ask somebody. Go, what's your
Yeah.
like shishi like food store,
Yeah.
and then do the joke.
Okay, thank you.
Nice job, Jane.
Sorry, I'm gonna make it go on so long.
Courtney, you going?
Yep.
What if she opened with, I'm a basic bitch?
Yeah. I mean, I think that should be it.
I really should open with that.
Oh, her.
Totally.
Yeah, her.
That's funny. So, hi, I'm Courtney Siago. I work in a cubicle because I'm living the dream. And 4 other people are in this cubicle with me because apparently it's a scientific fact that 1 in 5 people is a snitch who will tell HR that everyone's watching food videos on Facebook all day. But the other 4 people, it's 2 couples, 2 separate couples who live together, and me. So they come in every day and discuss what they did the night before. And it's like very like in depth. It'll be all about like the 4-course meal that they found on Pinterest and tried, and it worked because they're not real people. Or they'll like be discussing a movie and about how much they love this movie, and I'll just be over here like, I liked Forgetting Sarah Marshall too. It's not that controversial of a movie, but they're like, no, it's our thing. Yeah, it's great. I love it so much. And so recently, I was letting on a little bit of drama that someone was planning to break up with another person in this group of 4. And it turns out that that was untrue, but someone else in the office also hated them as much as me. So I think I had more to this story, but I forgot a little bit. So thank you.
So, what do you do?
I work at YouTube.
Oh, really?
Hey, girl. I'm just kidding.
Coordinator. So like when big YouTube channels come in, I like give them a stage. Like book a stage for them.
They let you out of the cubicle.
It's great.
So these 2 couples. So you're in like a cubicle.
It's like a little pod thing basically.
And there's 4 people and you, so it's 5 of you,
Yeah.
and 2 of them are couples.
Like everyone else in our cubicle is dating another person in the cubicle.
Wow.
It's weird.
That's so weird.
It's super weird. And they do everything together. They went to a Renaissance fair that like other people at our job had been to, so everyone was talking about it. Somehow they still acted like they were the only people who went. Like they're really weird about it. They act like everything they do, they're the only people who do that thing.
I mean, there's something. I feel like there's so much more to be said about these people, like, and just the whole idea. I'm just trying to think of like the idea of being the 5th wheel.
Yeah.
You know, at
You're the
work.
snitch.
Like at work though, and also, why do they want to be together like all day and all evening? Like, who could stand that?
Yeah, they like go to the same like, because it's Google basically. There's like fitness classes like on the like campus thing, and like they always go to the same fitness
so
classes.
weird.
It's super weird.
They like
It's very funny. I'm having trouble making it into like a joke.
Wait, do all 4 of the people live together? Or
No, all 4 of them live together.
pardon me?
All 4 of them live together in like a
that's
2-bedroom.
weird.
Oh my god.
Oh,
And
okay,
you.
yeah, you can
Oh my god, that's even weirder.
Oh, here, because I wasn't
Sorry,
sure
yeah.
on that.
It's
I'm like,
getting
oh,
That's the
weirder.
weirdest part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
They live together and work together?
Yeah,
Like
all
a
of them.
commune or something.
It is. And then me.
Yeah. They're in a cult without you.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're in wild country.
I feel like there would be something funny about you starting a rumor, like that there was a rumor going around that one of them was cheating or whatever, that two of them were thinking about breaking up, and then you can go, yeah, I started it. Like, like just something that you're doing to sabotage them because it's just too weird that they all like made things. I mean, is there just something funny that you could do, like plant stuff on their desk or I don't know,
Yeah,
or
something to try to get them to not be attached to the hip all day long, like little pranks.
Putting funny things in their purses or on their
trying to break them. I mean, maybe you could just be like, I've made it my life mission to break up at least one of the couples. Like maybe is there any truth, or it doesn't even matter if it's true, but maybe you could say that you've asked to be moved but you can't, and like build up a little tension in the bit that like you know you need to take some drastic measures. Like the only thing you can think of now, like they can't move you. There's no other space. So the only thing you can think of is to like force them to break up. Like, and then, you know, so now you're trying to come up with, you know, there was a rumor that they were breaking up. Well, I started it. Like,
Yeah, because I got a promotion and was excited about it, and then I got put in with them and was like, take me back.
Take me back.
oh, that's so funny. Like, so I'm actively trying to get demoted. Like,
Say, why am I being punished like this?
Yeah.
So unfair.
yeah, I think you should set up the whole thing of that they go to all these classes together. People will be laughing. I mean, it could be very like Patton Oswalt, like where doesn't have to be like punchline, but it just keeps getting worse the way you're describing it, and then start saying, so now I need to get demoted. Like, yeah, I think that could be really funny.
So I got a job interview at IHOP next week.
At IHOP.
IHOP.
It's like polyamory that she's not part of it.
My apologies.
Yeah.
My
It's like a
apologies.
polyamory party that she's not part
I
of.
think she's trying to now.
Like they put her to be the narc or something there, and she's like, why am I here?
Yeah.
There's gotta be a deeper
Am I on a
purpose.
reality show about polyamory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
polyamory.
YouTube. Are they tricking me?
Right,
Like, am I
right.
supposed
So
to be
what would you do episode with the
Yeah.
Maybe you're trying to join
Polyamory.
them. Like first you tried to just get demoted, you know, that didn't work, and now you're trying to join them.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's like you just want to go home with them.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
having group sex next Wednesday.
Yeah, orgies planned.
Salmon for dinner next Tuesday.
They're like the worst though. It's like all of them want to be actors, and they're like those people
God.
in LA who like have a job and still say they're an actor, even though they haven't been on like an audition in like a year. Like,
Amen.
I feel like that's well.
That's all of us.
They have like real like they're very into their jobs, and then say they're actors.
Didn't you say there was a rumor they were breaking up?
There was like a hardcore rumor, and I got very excited, and it just never happened. So I don't know how.
So
It was very
house-
disappointing.
There's got to be something funny, and like I heard, you know, one of them was cheating on the other one, and it was like, but where? And what? When? In the shower? I mean, where? They're not alone. They're stuck to the hip.
Yeah.
They would never have.
Do they go to the bathroom together?
Do they trade couples? Like, is there swapping?
I like the idea of like maybe one of them, like you're sitting up and like, well, such and such said she didn't like her meatloaf last night or whatever. You know what I mean? Like little things that kind of make them
Do you
get
try
mad
like
at each other.
stealing their yogurt
Meatloaf.
from the fridge and making it seem like one of them?
Yeah, that's funny.
Placing the empty like container on the other person's desk.
Putting questionable garbage in their trash.
Yeah.
That's really funny. There's an empty, put the empty yogurt container. Like the other day, I ate their, Shibani or whatever. Their funny reference. Like I ate their Yoplait and I put the empty carton underneath. I'm just hoping anything to make them break up. That's funny. You could come up with different things that you're doing. Like, you know. And then just hope they never come to see you do a set.
I know. I was like, you're not invited.
Yeah, I put rotten fish in there, and then I realized that was a bad idea because I'm there
invite
too.
them and then you're
The final.
and really break them up.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Nice job, Court.
Yeah.
Courtney has a very funny intervention story where she went to a party and she went there drunk.
Pretty named.
and it was an intervention for her friend.
That is
She thought it was a party that she got invited to. And it turned out,
talk to her?
Oh my god.
I didn't know what to say and I panicked and she was my roommate at the time and her room really smelled, so I told her that instead of like saying anything
and your room felt.
yeah,
Your room smells.
really embarrassing.
She's like, wait a minute, am I at my intervention? She goes, wait a minute, my name's not Emma. Erica! Missed you last week.
I missed you guys too.
Did you watch the video?
I was gonna have to ask you, what's the name of the group? You know, I'm not like on Facebook enough, so when I went in, I'm like, you know how people send you 1,000 requests for all these groups? So I forgot the
You're
name.
in Sausage Fest.
Sausage Fest. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Thank you. So I obviously did not watch the video, but I will.
You can. It'll help.
Thank you. Okay. My name is Erica Edwards. All right. So there's this app called Marco Polo, and you get on there, and it's kind of like texting, but you send videos. So I got my mom on it so we could be closer, and now I'm really regretting that shit. Because it was just such a big thing with her. Like first she was like, oh my God, they want access to my contacts. And I'm like, Mom, who the fuck do you know? Like, why are you tripping like that? So she's like, well, I don't understand. I mean, what about FaceTime? And I'm like, I don't have an iPhone, so I can't FaceTime you. So she finally downloads it, but now she doesn't get it. So the first video she sends me, it's like not even her face, and she's like masking her voice. I don't know how to use this app. You're like, and I'm like, Mom, it's me. Why shouldn't I be able to hear your actual fucking voice? Then I was like, okay, hey Mom. And she's like, oh, this is so cool. And then she sends me another video where now it's facing her. I can see her face. Well, not really her face, just from her eyes up, and she's not saying anything. So I don't know, like the learning curve on this app is high, apparently, for the elderly. And then the biggest thing though, where I'm gonna be like, delete this bullshit, is because now what she does is she'll call me to tell me she sent me a fucking video. And I'm like, Mom, that defeats the purpose, otherwise I would just talk to you. And then Marco Polo like kind of notifies people, I guess, when you were on the app or when you're on your phone or some shit. So she's like calling me, Marco Polo says you were on. Okay, Mom, I'm at work. Did you need something? Because Marco Polo is not an actual person. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get her to delete that bullshit because yeah, I can just text you and we'll just go back to the basics.
That's funny.
That's really funny.
Really good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Does everybody know what Marco Polo is?
I've never heard of it.
My sponsor does it with her family.
I
every
just got
day.
on it, so I was kind of wondering. Yeah, so I was like, I guess I should explain it.
Yeah, it does need to be explained like
Okay.
even more deep because I was like, I don't quite understand what it is.
Okay, well, yeah, I might have to do it a little bit more so I can
I thought
explain
it
it a
was a
little bit.
dating app for a minute at first. I thought you were getting your mom on a dating app. So I might just say it's a thing so that families can people can stay connected through sending videos to each other.
Okay,
But
okay.
otherwise, why wouldn't you just send regular videos?
Yeah, that's what I don't get.
Are there filters?
What do you mean, like, send regular? Like, I can't, on my phone, you can't just, like, you can only send a video, like, that's 10 seconds or whatever. Like, I can't really just send a video via text message. I mean, I can, but there's a lot of constraints to it. Whereas in Marco Polo, it's like, you know, you connect with the person and then you're just like, oh, you're just talking, and then you hit stop and then they sign in and see it. So it's a little bit different.
Oh, so it's like on their software. Okay, so
Yeah,
so
so-
just say it's a video, so you can have video message. You can send video messages.
Right, exactly. It's an app where you can send video messages as opposed to talking real time. Like
Yeah.
FaceTime, you can talk real time, but I'm an Android and everybody else has iPhones, so I never do FaceTime. So Marco Polo is like.
How old's your mom?
Pardon me?
How old's your mom?
She's like think my mom is 78.
Okay, so because I was gonna say you could go and like, so I need this because like I have an Android phone and I can't, like there's a lot of constraints on sending videos, and my mom needs it because she's 80. You know, like,
Okay,
it could
okay,
just be
okay.
kind of funny.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
she's
Okay.
old and
Yeah.
needs something that's very simple. And then
Yeah.
say, but it's not working out, and then tell the story. That's really, I think it's really funny.
Yeah, the way you
Okay.
did it was great.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Didn't you hear us? We were cracking up.
Because actually I was just telling people at work, and they were like, oh, you should do that on stage. And I was like, you think so? So, all right.
Yeah, totally.
Okay,
A
cool.
lot of the best bits start out that way, of people, of just telling a funny story and people saying you should do that on stage.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Good job.
I love. So the first one, it was just her eye.
No, the first one, she sent me one
Just
where
doing
like
after
somehow
her
she
voice.
altered her voice.
Like,
Yeah.
why did she do?
I don't know. That's
Like,
what
is she in the witness protection
Right?
program?
I mean, that's the whole thing. First, she's like, I don't want them to know my contact. Then she's like altering her voice, and then she's just showing her eyes. I'm like, what? Are you a spy? Like, what is going on here?
That's
Yeah.
funny.
It's
Are
like-
you in the witness protection program? Mom? What are you doing? What are you?
Yeah.
Who are you hiding from?
Right.
Mom, you don't have any. Nobody cares.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mom, I'm the only person in your contact.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
That's funny.
Okay.
That would be really funny if she's like, what if they get like they want my contact to go, yeah, I'm your only contact.
Right.
Yeah. That's really funny. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Not a big security threat.
I know. I'm already on there, Mom. It's fine. It's fine.
So she panicked. They want access to my contacts,
Yeah.
She literally said that. Like, that's
That's funny.
and then it was just her eye.
Right. Like, I was like, what is she doing? And then when she told
Maybe
me.
you could go, it was just her eyes and she was wearing sunglasses.
And had a wig on. The wig and glasses and stuff.
It's me.
That's exactly how it was.
Let's take a break.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't even know how
Brett? I'm a hippie. But not like a hippie, more like a modern hippie. I believe in the power of gemstones, but I don't give a fuck about recycling. I love how some words in different languages, or when you translate them, they just don't make any sense. Like an orgasm in French, it's le petit mort, so the little death, which makes me think that Jesus actually didn't die for my sins. He just really had good sex with Maria Magdalene, and he just needed to recover for 3 days. That's it.
I feel like you could do a whole string of like things that are like, what do you call it? Not a dichotomy, but like dichotomy. Like where you're like, I'm a hippie, but I love this, but I hate recycling.
Okay.
And I this, and I love this, I don't like this. Like I like I don't know what it would be like. I love picnics, but I hate
Being outdoors.
yeah. That's funny.
I hate the outdoors.
Yeah.
I like sex, but not with partners.
I don't hate trees.
No trees. Yeah, and sausages.
That's how hippie you are.
Yeah. I love
Ecosexual.
That could go into. I even make my own sausages.
that's funny. I make my own. I love. There's something about I love like. I wanted to tie in like love it being barefoot, but I love shoe shopping. Like I hate shoes. I hate wearing shoes, but I love shoe shopping. I don't know. Like I'm a hippie. Like I hate wearing shoes, but I love shoe shopping. Like so something where you're like all a bunch of things that are about you, but that are not what you expect. Right? I don't-
Love the
You know what I mean?
weird
Like I
section.
love
Yes.
weed, but I don't do drugs.
Yeah. I love.
I love
never
weed,
tried
but I
it.
don't. Yeah. I love weed in theory.
Bacon is my favorite food.
I like tripping. Not good
Candy,
acid.
pork.
I'm a hippie, but I really love veal. I don't know.
Oh, that's bad.
I really love veal. So specific.
car and stuff like that.
I hate, or you can be like, I hate veal, but I love killing baby animals. It would be a joke. Amber's like, oh my god.
I didn't say
Scandalized
anything.
right now.
Where you're like, I don't eat meat, but I'm a butcher.
But I like to butcher, or I like to butcher my cats.
Oh, what?
I like to butcher my cats.
My, yeah.
Alright. I'll come up
Dark
with more stuff.
amber.
Dark, definitely. What about the little deaf one? Guys?
Say it again because it kind of got lost. Sometimes your accent is a little thick, and so it's sometimes can be hard to understand you. So you have to be conscientious of that
Gotcha.
and slow down a little bit sometimes.
Alright, very slow. So, orgasm in French is le petit mort, which means the little death. Which made me think that Jesus probably didn't die for my sins, but he just really had good sex with Maria Magdalene and he had to recover for 3 days.
Mary Magdalene.
That one.
With Mary, yeah, with the
That lady.
Mary
That
Magdalene,
hooker
the
Mary.
prostitute.
Virgin Mary wasn't a virgin, or wasn't such a virgin.
Wait, that was
Well,
his
that's
mom.
his mom.
Oh.
But
Mary
then-
Magdalene. They were all named
Oh, Mary
Mary.
Magdalene was the
Mary and Mary and
prostitute,
Mary
right?
and Mary.
There's only one, yeah.
I mean,
One
there
name.
was there just one name in the
Yeah.
then?
There was one name, they named every, yeah.
All
Mary
women
Magdalene.
have
Just made it easy.
They had a good night.
Every woman's called a Mary.
Yeah.
They all look the same anyway.
Don't even give them another
That's a
name.
funny bit. Like, are they just all named Mary?
That's
Like,
funny, yeah.
Okay. Alright. Plus it might be awkward too if his mom's name's Mary and he's fucking Mary
yeah.
saying her name. I don't know.
I mean, it also makes it easier.
It's easier
But
to
it's
say
like
Yeah.
your mom back then.
You didn't need to have an ID back then. Everyone knew you were Mary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was a real motherfucker. Oh, Jack.
I have 3 cousins named Mary. And one of them got married last weekend, and her mother-in-law now has the exact same name.
Oh my god.
Like
Wow.
Mary and the same last name.
Oh, that's funny.
Mary is apparently the only name.
Mary and Mary and Mary.
Mary got married.
Let's get
Yeah.
creative. Let's name her
Mary, that's a name you never hear
Mary.
anymore. I was listening to your podcast. You're listening off. I'm surprised you didn't say Lisa, because nobody's named Lisa, but everyone was named Lisa. And there's a ton of Lisas in
Oh,
the
yeah.
70s.
And Jennifer's.
Yeah.
Stephanie.
There's no other cannabises.
Leslie.
All right, who is next?
No Julie's. Yeah, that was one we came up with.
Jennifer.
Here I am.
There's no new Jennifer.
No Barbara's. No Linda's.
I have all these names in my phone.
No Constances.
Yeah,
No, but as
nobody's
a
naming their
baby.
babies this now. No one
Like
names
when you
their
have a
current-
baby, can you imagine having a newborn baby? What's her name? Linda. Hi,
Aunt
Linda.
Kathy.
Yeah. Yeah, Kathy was one we used.
Baby Kathy.
Hi, I'm Jen. So kind of starting on the opposite foot of my last joke, I finally went on a really good date this past week. Like probably the best date that I've been on in years, I want to say. He took me to, he was a much older man. He took me to a really nice restaurant. He paid, which is a big deal these days. We talked for hours, we really connected, he was pouring his heart out to me, and afterwards, we went back to my place, and clothes came off, clothes went back on, because there were a lot of outfit changes. There was some role playing, there were accents, it was like slutty theater camp. So, you know, obviously I'm taking his last name. I felt really good about it coming out of it. And we texted for a lot after this date, and it was all going really well until somehow Kesha got brought up. And I said, oh yeah, my girl, I love Kesha. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I love Kesha. And he stopped talking to me. He just said, there were hours of radio silence, and finally he just goes,
K, period. Can you think of anything more insulting? That's like K for Kesha. Yeah, that's like probably the worst thing that you can text someone these days. It's not really a joke right now. It's just a true story that happened. I don't know. I had another.
Wait, I'm confused.
No, it was pretty much. I had a really good date with this guy. Like, he's someone that I used to work with. He's a much older guy, and he was like slipping into like I love yous and like
on the first date.
Yeah, I mean we like worked together for about a year or so, but that's weird too. But no, it was just a really good date. I felt like we really connected. We hung out for hours, and like he was texting a bunch for like the next few days. But then like texting was going fine, and he brings up Kesha at one point because I was just talking about getting shit faced, and he brings up Kesha, and I was like, oh, I love her. And I mean, the texts were ridiculous. He was like, no, please say you're not being serious. And I was like, yeah, I like Kesha. He was like, you're like, no. And I was like, okay, is this where we part ways? He's like, I'm sorry. Yeah, and I was like, I guess I'll let it slide. He's like, well, I don't know if I can. And I was just like, are you being serious? And then I like explained why I like Kesha, and hours later he's just like, okay. And that was like the end of the conversation. Haven't heard from him in days. It's just really weird. Maybe it's not a joke.
That is so fucking weird.
It's really, really weird, and got me really in my head. I was like, did Kesha do something? Like,
To me, that's the funny part. It's like, he ghosted you after Kesha or whatever.
Right.
And especially if you work together, because you're like, now he's in the elevator, not speaking.
He doesn't work with me anymore, but like this man knows a lot of other things about me. Like, he knows about dating naked. He knows about, like, he saw.
That's the thing?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he knows.
That's the thing.
He knows that I have a lot of cats. I've got 2 cats. He saw my last stand-up show, so like I talked about weird sexual things there too. But the thing that's the deal breaker is that I listen to Kesha. It's just weird.
God forbid I listen to Kesha.
And
he just stopped talking to me.
That's really funny, is that he's so extreme over Kesha.
Yeah, like this guy's kryptonite.
And you're trying to quit. You're trying to quit Kesha, but you just can't. You've been working on it.
And also, like, right before this, the reason why Kesha was brought up, he was like, yeah, I've had a hangover for the past 2 days. It could be that I like downed a bottle of vodka yesterday. I was like, yeah, that could be it. I don't know. So it's really hypocritical that he's judging me for liking Kesha.
I think that he's like he scared himself by being so into you that he just came up with an excuse to like back out.
Nate, it's so weird.
You should read the text.
The fact that you're saying that he was that intense and like almost saying I love you makes me think that he had to do something. He freaked himself out.
I mean, he's an older guy. He's got kids.
Well, why is he having 2-day hangovers?
Well, because the first one was from when we hung out, and then the next day he just like went hard. But no, he was telling me, he was like, you should
why
take.
Is he a much older guy that's going hard 2 nights in a row?
It's a good question.
You don't need that.
No, I mean, he clearly has issues. But like the date was so good to the point where he was like, you should take next Friday off. Like we should spend the day together. Like this just doesn't really happen. I'm so used, and like it's so sad that I was excited about the fact that this guy like took me to a nice restaurant. Like I'm just used to guys treating me like trash. So
a nice restaurant like Applebee's.
Yeah, I mean no, the last guy who asked me to go to a restaurant invited me to CPK because the owner gave him a bunch of gift cards. Like, he straight up told me this. And he thought it was like flattering.
Groupon date.
They have good tortilla soup. That's all I'm saying. I'm not.
CPK has good food, but don't tell me that you want to take me there because you got gift cards from the owner.
I'm just joking. I don't know. There's something really funny about the Kesha thing, though. I mean, that is funny.
Yeah, I think the Kesha is good. I mean, that part of it is funny. Like, it's a crazy situation.
Yeah, Amber had a
like
good idea. Amber said just read the text.
I mean, do you
read
want
us?
to do
Yes,
one? There's
Yes, but you could do this in your act.
Yeah.
I think it'd
Do
be
you
funny.
think it needs the whole setup, or do I just say, like, guys, I finally had a good date the other day, and I thought, like, we were all set to meet up again, and then I said I liked Kesha, and the conversation went as follows. Do I just do that?
I wouldn't tell the punchline. I mean, I wouldn't.
You say
Wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, and then we have this conversation.
he's been texting. It's been great. Here it is. So
And then read it, and then go, now I haven't heard from him in 3 days.
Yeah.
I feel like you should ask the audience, what should you say to that? Like,
That's kind of fun.
TikTok.
Well, no, I was gonna incorporate that. Like, I haven't, an hours go by and I don't hear from him, and I'm just like, TikTok on the clock, motherfucker. Like, what's going on? I don't know.
You could even incorporate all of her words to her songs, like, you just downed a bottle of Jack.
Well,
whatever.
I'm praying. Wait.
I'm praying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it would be funny if you just started torturing him with, just
So you want-
texting him with Kesha lyrics.
Ice cream truck going by his house with Kesha playing.
You just send him like emoji, a Kesha emoji.
Just send
Not an emoji,
I
yeah.
thought you should say, so I sent him, what do you guys think about this? I sent him this text, and then incorporate Kesha lyrics into your text, and then do a few of them. Like, that then you didn't hear back from him, so then you said, listen, I'm praying, I'm not, like, then you'll text me back.
That's funny. Yeah. I had one other bit. I don't know if there's time.
Yeah, if there's time, we'll
Okay.
do it again. All right.
Like some bitch, huh?
You're a dick. I'm sorry, Jen.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's like the only good date that I've had.
That's not a good day.
How do you know to keep Kesha until you get a ring on it?
That's a party
Hold it
That's
as
a party
a secret
companion,
for
not
a
even a
while.
date.
Actually, you can say that, like, now I know that
Poor
I'm
Jen.
only popping out Kesha on the wedding
You're so
night.
pretty. I do not understand.
You're so cute and you're so funny.
Yeah.
You've got it all going on.
This town just messed up things.
It's the town. It is the town.
The daytime bartender at Tequila. Find you a nice daytime alcoholic to...
All right.
I don't just go to Erewhon. I go to Whole Foods too. Well, not anymore. I can't go back there. Because there was a time in my life, don't get me wrong, like I'm doing great right now, but there was a time in my life when I was not doing so hot and I would just like walk straight into Whole Foods and like go up to the bulk bins and just like sample the merchandise, like pop some in my mouth of those like amazing candies. And by like sample, I mean like I was in the trenches of the Whole Foods bins just like shoving candy in my face. There's like peanut butter all over my face, like my hair is fucked up. Yeah, so one day I was in there, just like back in it, like just like disgusting. And fuck, what happened? Basically, and I'm in it, and I look up and I see a sign that says, no grazing. And I'm like, that can't be because of me. And then I look over and I see a photo of me just grazing. And I'm like, they didn't even put a filter on it. Oh. But then I got over my pride and I was like, you know what this means? I'm a Whole Foods model now. So all this should be free. That's not one.
I think that's funny. The only thing is that it's not true, so then it's like a funny thing that could really happen, but then it's like there wouldn't really be a picture of you. Is there a way to say it that you're not really saying there was a picture of you, but that you were scared that there was going to be a picture of you?
Yeah,
that,
like, I was
and
scared
then,
that there was
but then maybe if there was a picture of me, then I'd get to eat free because I'd be a Whole Foods model.
Well, maybe you could say you looked up and you noticed a security camera.
I was gonna say,
Yeah. Yeah, because like I do. There's security cameras everywhere.
Or a bunch of moms watching you.
all the
Or
time.
Also, I think when you're saying that you had like peanut butter, I think you should say I had like carob. Like you should make it really Whole Foodsy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like I had
like carob and
locally I had artisan carob.
yeah, that's really funny.
Sprouts in my hair.
like just like freshly shaved coconut shreds and like
Yeah. And
dried
dark
papaya.
Yeah.
What if it's just like not even chocolate? Like it's like dried papaya and granola.
Yeah. And like honey baked granola or whatever. Just make it like it's so many extra
It's
words
hilarious
that
because when I wrote this, it was like it's actually like an old one that I wanted to resurrect because we're like all in the basic bitch
stuff.
Right.
So I was excited to bring it back. But when I wrote it, I wasn't vegan. So it was like, and since then I took a food sensitivity test. So I can't have peanut butter anymore. So yeah, now I don't even do this anymore.
Well, you know what you could say? You could say peanut butter. I mean, that's kind of funny. If you're talking about being a basic bitch, you could go, I had freshly shaved and peanut butter. Don't worry, I don't eat peanut butter anymore because I took a food sensitivity quiz and I'm not allowed to have it. But like, you know what I mean? It's like a funny little interjection.
Yeah. I know, it's like if I'm just more myself.
Still.
I mean, the whole thing is that you're making fun of yourself, which could be really funny. What's that thing that's a way of eating where you're sensitive, like you can't have certain like hot? It's called. No, it starts with a V. It's like there's different things that there's like certain people can only have, like you can't have like spicy foods, and you can't have it's like almost sounds like astrology. I know you guys are gonna know. I know you're gonna know what I'm talking about. It's like, oh my god, my friend eats this way. It's not paleo.
Special diet.
Yeah, it's like a special diet.
Keto.
Paleo. What's the one that, there's one that you can only have, like some people can have.
Like the blood type diet?
Yeah, but it's like
Eat for your type.
But one of them starts with a V. It's all like weird words, and you can only have. But anyway, I was gonna say that you could say, but if I think of it, I'm gonna tell Lisa and tell her.
Well, I can say like vegan, right?
Yeah, but this is like a specific thing where you're really super picky about. Oh my god, my friend Brian Fraser was on this eating plan.
Oh.
It was like a big trendy thing for a while. Super trendy. Like paleo, but I don't know, whatever. The point is you could say because you're sensitive, you know, you could just bring up a thing in between your ranting about this, like, well, because I took a quiz and I'm food sensitive to peanut butter and this and this.
Yeah, like I can do the peanut butter and then I'm like, and carob because I don't have chocolate anymore because I'm vegan.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that'd be really funny. Yeah. And I looked up and then do the security camera and then I got worried, oh my god. What if the no grazing is because they got me on security camera.
Yeah, and like I feel like there's some sort of I feel like there's some sort of joke too of like that it's like blackmail for like when I'm famous or some shit. Like I don't know. I feel like it's like my equivalent, my basic bitch equivalent of like a sex tape.
Right.
You know, like this is like my food porn tape or something.
That's really funny.
My food porn tape. My Whole Foods
porn.
Yeah.
Whole food porn tape.
Look, I'm really scared if I get in a big movie. Yeah.
What if everyone finds out? What if everyone finds out?
Yeah. So
everyone.
I mean,
I have to shop it.
Coconut shavings in my crack.
I don't know. Maybe there's something there of like
that's really funny.
The blackmail footage.
Yeah, I got really scared that they're gonna have
like,
this tape.
They're gonna like shop around my food porn tape.
Yeah. That's really funny.
Oh, it'll be me and Ray J.
What?
It's me and Ray J. Isn't that the one that
Yeah. Oh my god.
Little Kim Kardashian.
Oh, that's good. I've never even thought of that tag. That's so funny. Okay.
Then I get that call, like when I'm after I accept my Academy Award, and then I get that call, Jane, we saw the tape.
Yeah.
You shaved coconut,
They're like Jane,
peanut butter. I thought you don't. Yeah. I thought you can't have peanut butter. Yeah.
I was thinking too, where you like looked up at the picture and been like, who's that dirty homeless man with a beard? Like, fuck, that's me with a peanut butter face. Alright. I'm Julie Follette. I know I have to say my last name now, just in case. Only the B-52s can make fucking on the side of the highway on an old mattress in a rusted roof shed sound like a good idea. Sorry, okay. I wanted to kind of do I need you to punch this up for me. So you Pornhub, anybody? Yeah, you watch it on your phone? Anybody watch it on their phone? Prop it up on a pillow, and I like to watch it on my phone because I'm scared of, viral diseases in more ways than one. But I find it fascinating that they have a share button on the bottom of each video. Like you can share it to Facebook, like, hey grandma, happy 70th. Here's my interracial gangbang bukkake fest. Cheers. Nothing like sharing a good old interracial gangbang, whatever. Something about the U-porn, because the share button's ridiculous. And then I don't know if you watch it, but sometimes it'll like open up to your screen to do sex chatting. So you're masturbating and you're holding your phone, and then all of a sudden your bibblies are on your camera. And you're like, God damn! Okay. Bibblies. Oh shit, I was gonna go farther with the U-porn, but... Anybody else think the My Pillow guy is creepy as fuck? And he makes sure to like have his cross popping out of his top collar and be like, trust me, I love Jesus. But they're always like, oh my God, My Pillow. I was like, I'd never fucking want anything to do with a bed or sleeping coming from that My Pillow guy. He creeps the shit out of me. All right, I think that's about as, oh, my friend got into my car and he's like, wow, it smells like vanilla and regret. He forgot to mention the cigarettes and the shame. There we go.
Oh my God, that My Pillow thing is really funny. I feel like everybody knows the My Pillow guy, right?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, what the hell? No late night, 2 a.m.
I don't have TV. I don't have a TV.
Nobody has cable anymore. Which makes me really excited about my Nickelodeon appearance. No one's gonna... Girl, I got a part.
You did?
I got a part. I play a toothless hockey player. I got 5 lines.
At a Nickelodeon show?
Yeah, I'm with Kel Mitchell on Game Shakers.
Oh my God!
I actually
my kids
auditioned.
Love Game Shakers.
Girl, I'm on the next episode. I know, and I really want, as a little girl, I always want to play a toothless person on TV. Like, everybody wants to be like the hot Megan Fox and this and that. I was like, fucking somebody's got to play the old mom from Goonies. It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be. When is that
I know,
happening?
2 shakes from the truck stop.
Did you already film it?
So, because Dan got fired. Did you hear about that? Dan Schneider got fired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gross.
Mm-hmm. I was his assistant for a while.
Are you serious?
I know everything. Well, nothing with kids though. I never saw any of that. But I don't know. He's been in the game for 30 years before me. I don't know what happened. But yeah, no. Everybody got fired. So I used to have insider information, but now I don't know when it's. They said August 20th. You know what? I'll have a big party.
Yeah.
We'll have a big old gathering. If we like see it, it's like just me walking by the camera, totally cut out.
Wait, oh, we missed it.
Well, don't blink, everyone. Keep your eyes open. No, I have 5 lines on like the whole.
Great, that's a lot.
Yeah, but nobody watches cable anymore, so I was like, all right.
My kids, we do.
All that.
Perfect. Well then, shit.
I'll be seeing it.
Okay, you'll be seeing it.
Or at least hearing you.
Wearing heels and very awkward.
So U-porn.
U-porn, the share button. What the hell is that?
That's funny. Maybe you could say something like, shouldn't they have like a don't share button? Like something where you're like scared. What's your fingers?
Or you're like watching it and you're like, oh, I didn't press play, I pressed share, fuck!
Yeah. We're like accidentally sharing.
No!
Yeah.
Slippery fingers.
Yeah.
And you're just like, make sure you share it. Or yeah, no, make.
It's like I was trying to turn it up. No, Grandma's calling.
No, Grandma's calling.
I was like, I didn't even hear it that bad.
We need to talk.
Yeah. I'll just sound off.
I was on it. The camera turned around. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was sharing live.
I just wanted to press play. I just wanted to press play.
Or maybe
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
Maybe I just wanted to pause. I just wanted to turn the sound up. I didn't mean suddenly tweeted it, Facebooked it, like Insta.
Like all the trifecta of social media.
I hope Nickelodeon doesn't find out.
Yeah, luckily I had it set to share with my Insta.
Oh
Like,
my
maybe you
God.
could say, but I got like 40 followers. I don't know.
You got 40 followers.
Avatars thing, remember?
Dirty Bob from Ohio.
That would on the screen and then.
It would be funny if you actually said, like, what if you accidentally share it? Well, you could say that, maybe you could say you accidentally shared it and you got 40 new followers or something. You're Insta famous. I don't know, there could be something.
Oh yeah, now I'm looking up MILF porn. I hear there's a big market for that. I hope I get a couple more followers. Grandma, I'd like to.
That's funny. I think that's funny.
No, it's good.
All right, we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everything you brought up here tonight was getting laughs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Soon. I'll start this soon. Maybe like next month when school starts back up again. Okay.
All right, Courtney.
All right. Where's Tiako? I've recently decided that the guilt is the worst part of a hangover. I spent most of yesterday trying to like devise an excuse for like the things that happened the night before. Where it was like the fact that I was trying to fit into a tight dress so I didn't eat, and like that's why the 8 shots made me drunk. But I went to a wedding on Saturday, and it was quite eventful. Someone yelled out, "Play chicken fry" during the first dance, and that was not what got talked about the most. So I was talking to one of my cousins, and he was like, "Wow, Sarah Ann's boyfriend is so gay." And I forgot that in Missouri, that's just an adjective that could really mean anything. And I was like, wow, I'm really surprised that she told you that her fiance has experimented with men. So apparently I confirmed something that he didn't know. He was just trying to, talk. And within 5 minutes, the dance floor was empty, and everyone was trying to plan an intervention. Again, not the same type of intervention. But I left feeling very guilty. I did lose my phone that night, but found it again the next morning, sitting in front of the church. So I think that might have been a sign that I should go apologize for some sins. That's all I got. You.
I think you should say like that he said he's so gay. When you said it's just more of an adjective, you should say something for when you're like something that somebody would you go like, oh my god, that's so gay. But I'm trying to think what that would be.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was like he has her fiance has highlights basically, or at least it looks like he has highlights. And so like I think that was what he was talking about. But I thought like he actually knew.
Right. No, I totally get the bits of it. So I would say, but what he meant was he has highlights. Like, like what you meant, you took it as, oh, he's experimenting with men.
No, like I knew that he was experimenting because she told me.
Oh, you really did.
And I thought she had also told him, which I thought was weird. But I was like, oh, so you know.
Oh.
And he didn't know. I just confirmed a suspicion.
You just outed him.
Yeah. Really did happen.
Oh my god, that's kind of funny.
Then you'd be like, it was so gay.
Yeah.
That was so gay that I did that.
But then maybe you could have a thing where he says, wait, he's experimented with guys? And then you could be like, well yeah, what did you mean? And then he goes, yeah, you said he's so gay. He's like, I meant he has highlights. Right? Like
right. Yeah.
He says that. I think that would be a funnier punchline. Mm-hmm. If you say, he said, he's so gay, and I didn't realize, like, that he was just saying, so I was like, because I knew he had, and you were like, oh, wow, then he says, wait, he's had sex with guys, and you could go, what do you meant? I meant he has highlights. I think that could be really, like, funny bit, no?
I think it's a little confusing, though.
Okay, yeah.
It's a little bit like a lot of backstory.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think?
Well, I think I'm making it sound like that, but I think I didn't realize that she really knew that. Mm-hmm. So I think I get that they're backwards and un-PC and saying, gay, oh, that's so gay, and you as a sophisticated person are like only taking that literally.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so I guess we're both on the same page. I guess we're talking about the fact that he has sex with men now.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, weird, you're being so progressive and cool about that. And then I was like, oh, no, he's talking about
And then he went and told everybody?
Yeah, like literally, like my mom knew about it within like 5 minutes.
Oh, shit.
and came up and talked to me about it. And I was like, and everyone like thought I was like starting shit. I really was just like, oh, she's being very open about this. And I was also like drunk, so I was thinking well.
I mean, I think it's kind of funny because we don't know these people.
Yeah.
That's a real thing that happened.
Yeah, it is.
But I like the idea that, I don't know, I like the idea that it's something specific that he's like, no, I just meant he has highlights. Like, I just meant he drives a Miata. I don't know, something.
Or a pink sweater or
yeah,
something.
Exactly. Right, that he's going, oh, that's so gay. Yeah, exactly. And that you're like, oh, I think, oh, we're all cool here. That he likes to have sex with other guys. I mean, you could kind of say it, like, you're going to have to say it a little more assertively, like, so I was drunk. So he says, like, oh, he's so gay. And I was like, so you know, like, oh, yeah, he has sex with other guys. And then he was like, what? And you were like, well, he said he's so gay. Yeah, I meant he has highlights. I meant he wears a pink sweater. What'd you mean? And then you're like, never mind. And then within 5 minutes, everybody knows.
Okay, cool. And I was also trying to decide, does it make me sound like horrible to like tell that?
No.
I don't.
Okay.
I think it makes you sound better. I think it makes him sound bad.
Okay, well, I'll keep it for Trump's sneakers.
Exactly. Well, I have no trouble believing that.
Oh, so he has a flag and everything. Oh, God.
I think it makes him sound backwards, and that you are actually thinking the best of him. That you're thinking that he wouldn't say something that's like gross like that. So you're like, oh, cool, like this is out in the open now. Like, yeah, I know, isn't it great? Like that, or isn't it crazy that he has sex with other something, and then he's like, what? I think that's, I don't know, I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I like it because it seems like the whole he's so gay thing just seems very 90s or back in the day when people said that all the time. And you're like, oh, but I'm a millennial. So I said, he really is gay. I mean, it is funny.
But I don't think you should I don't think you should tip it off.
No, I'm not saying you should say that. I'm just saying that's the
right. Yeah. Like you just respond. See, I would take away the line where you say, I didn't realize he was just saying it as an adjective or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I said, I would just say like, and I was like, whoa, I guess she told him. Mm-hmm. So you said, yeah, he has sex with other guys or whatever. Then he's like, what? I just meant he has highlights and wore a pink sweater or whatever. And then that you realized you made like a bad move because you're from LA. Like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, very cool.
And then you lost your phone.
Yeah, one of my cousins found it in front of the church. I didn't even find it myself.
Oh, God.
So now there's more people you can't ever do your set in front of. Like your
Everyone,
family.
I need to stop telling stories. I really
your
do.
work, no coworkers. Don't do any bringer shows.
Yeah, no bringer shows. Yeah.
I should really start changing the names, I've realized.
They'll know.
They'll know.
These different people that I share a cubicle with. Not you guys. These are
the other couple.
These different people. That other family I have.
Can you open the window, Amber? I think we can get some. It's probably cool enough out there to get some real air in here.
Alright, so these are sort of like just ideas that I have. Hi, I'm Erica Edwards. Okay, so I don't know how I want to do something where I talk about how like
Why was he blocking you?
I'm trying to remember. Like, now I was talking to my friend, he's like, oh, you didn't call me for my birthday, you're deleted, or you're blocked, or whatever. And I was like, dude, do you know how many fake funny accounts that I have? How can you block me? Like, there's, like, I have 8 other accounts that you don't even know about, and I know where you really live. So you can block a bitch if you want to, but I will just show up at your job. So, yes, I don't know. I think there was something there at the time, but I'm not sure what it is. On another thing, I guess, because I just celebrated my birthday. Thank you. So, like, if you pay for it, is it still a birthday dinner? Because I'm like, I don't think so, bitch. I don't know why you're saying that on Instagram, but this is really me just treating you. We're not celebrating Erica, you know, but yeah, we'll do it for the IG story, ho, but it's not actually my birthday dinner if I'm paying for everything. You know, so that actually sadly did happen.
I like that.
I know, she was like, we're celebrating Erica's birthday live on Instagram, and then the check comes and I'm paying for it. So I'm like, how is that a celebration of Erica? Yes, I have no idea. So yeah, there's that.
Who was it, a friend of yours?
Yeah, I mean, you know, yes. She's a comedian, so I'll leave it there. But yes, she is a friend of mine. Well, she was. I'm just joking. But she's on that line. You know, where it's like, okay, you got one more holiday and you're cut, bitch. No, I don't know. But yeah, no, for real. Like she was, and because the whole thing to me is so funny how people take Instagram and Facebook so serious. And I'm like, that shit is totally fictional. Yeah. Like totally. Like she had this whole performance. Oh, happy birthday, Erica! And then like I'm fucking paying for it. So I was like, bitch.
Is there something funny like about next time somebody says, "Do you want to go out for your birthday?" Like, do I need to check their credit rating?
Conversation, I should have taken it. And I was like, oh, this might work. But yeah, I like what you're saying because it's like he doesn't know at the time when he's like, okay, you're blocked. It's like
because he doesn't know I'm crazy.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Like you could say that, you know, he doesn't know I'm crazy. I have a lot of accounts.
Right, exactly. Like I think,
him.
as most women do. No, I don't know. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I have to go a little bit deeper in that one, so that makes more sense. But okay, is that the time, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. Okay, so it's 9 o'clock. We have one more hour. We can do another round. We can do. Staff can talk about. Do you guys have more stuff you want to work out? Yeah. Okay. If you have something, let's do one more round. If you don't have anything, no big deal. Gret, don't worry about it. We'll just start with Jen. Julie, you ready for Thursday night?
Yes, I am. This guy from Bold and the Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And he's bringing like 6 people.
Really?
West Hollywood, yeah. He's actually the guy, Dr. Zhivago, remember that movie?
Yeah.
His grandson. I was like, this is so random.
Oh, nice. Did you meet him at your work?
No, I met him. I went to the Gloria Stefan opening night of On Your Feet.
Oh my God. Get on
and I was,
your feet.
oh, it was so good. You guys, you gotta go see it. And my girlfriend's uncle, Gunkle, her gay uncle, produced it or helped produce it. So then we gotta go.
Is that at the Pantages?
At the Pantages, and then we gotta go to an after party. And Sheila E. performed.
Wow.
So we gotta meet Gloria Stefan, and I touched Michael Bolton.
Ooh. Where?
In the nibbly bibbly snow. But it was funny because he's like the only white. Everybody's like, all the Spanish stars, or you know, Latina stars are there, and I'm like, Michael Bolton. They're like, you white cracker bitch. I was like, yeah, right. And like this Mexican guy was like giving me shit because I was like excited about the one. But that's where George Lopez peed on the star. And everyone's freaking out. Did you see that video of George Lopez?
I saw that.
And everyone's freaking out. I was like, you guys, it was a water bottle. He didn't really pee on the star. I don't know. People are freaking out.
Even if he did.
But y'all should go see if you like anything Cuba, nice drums. I didn't know shit about her life. So I was like, oh!
Okay.
Do it! But
Thursday's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun.
Good, yeah.
A Laugh Factory show.
Is Natasha Lagarde going or no?
No, it's Sean Pulofsky.
Oh, love her.
Are you performing on Thursday?
Performing Thursday.
Yeah.
Get your booties in. And then say you're there for Julie so I can rack it up.
Shows this week.
Every show.
All right.
Great.
Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen. Some people are destined for greatness. I think I'm just destined to have triplets because according to my gyno, I have a 3rd nipple. Now, honestly, I don't think it really looks like much. I think it looks like a mole more than anything else. But ever since I started telling this joke, guys are now really disappointed by my boobs because they'll look around and they're like, that's it? And I'm like, same back at you, pal. That's a small dick joke. Then I have one other one. This would have to be performed the week of the showcase. So it's that time of the month where I can't stop crying. My birthday. That's it.
That's funny. I like both of those.
You've done the nipple stuff before.
Yeah, so it originally just like kind of ended at some people are destined for greatness. I'm just destined to have triplets because I've got a third nipple.
So we need to know you have a third nipple before you say that joke.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that's a punchline.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
So according to my gyno, I have a third nipple. So, you know, I think some people are destined for success. I'm just destined to have triplets.
No, I think you have to do the joke, say the thing, and then say, I think it looks like, I think you have to do the whole joke with the guy.
It looks like a mole,
yeah,
but
and
this.
And this guy was like, oh, that's it? Like, and then say, well, I guess, right back at you, pal, and then go, I don't know, I guess some people are destined for greatness and I'm destined to have triplets.
Okay, so put that at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tag.
Okay.
Get another laugh.
Yeah.
Good closing thing.
Or a threesome.
Yeah.
That's funny, triplets.
Yeah. Or a threesome. There's a little something for everybody.
Yeah.
That's
very
funny.
little.
The extra one's for the lactose intolerant.
That's really funny. A little something for everybody.
Yeah.
Very little.
Lactate pills. Yeah.
That's funny.
Cool. Great.
All right. Good job.
I'm so embarrassed that I literally just got the triplets thing.
Oh yeah, because there's 3 nipples.
Got it. There's spaces
Yeah.
for each one to drink from.
Yeah. Should I add on to?
So is it a nipple that could lactate?
My gyno was really vague about it. I asked him. I was like, because he was just like, he like finishes doing his thing and he turns around and is like, by the way, that's an extratory nipple. I was like, excuse me? I was like, so is it functional? He's like, on some women. He gave like the worst answers. It wasn't helpful. So yeah, maybe my kids might get really lucky. I don't know.
Well, eventually you can develop a joke about this vague gynecologist that you got that is randomly telling you stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, that's like not something you just spring on somebody like lightly.
Yeah,
Right, and then it was like a throwaway.
Yeah, like a throwaway.
Like this life-changing bit of information. Because my whole life I thought it was a cat scratch. I grew up with like a psychotic cat. It's a third nipple apparently. It really doesn't look like that though. It's weird.
Where is it?
It's like right here.
It's on her boob. You showed us.
I did.
Yeah.
It really, you want to see it? It doesn't really look like much.
We want to
No,
see it.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
It's really good. It like
Oh.
That's
That's a letdown.
it. It is a let. This is what I'm saying. I like told this joke, and a guy from the open mic came home with me. And he was like, all right, let me see it. I was like, you're gonna be disappointed, but this is it. He's like that joke is very true.
Yeah.
But then he actually had a big dick, so I was like, that's nice.
it's like I get a big dick but bad jokes. So
Yeah.
If that's inspiration to go to open mics, right there.
It was like the last time it happened.
That's funny.
Nice job.
Good job, Jen.
Yay! I have things. I don't know. Yeah, go.
No, I was just like, if you got a thing.
Yeah.
Oops.
Okay.
It's a hard one to put back together.
You're like,
I've been getting on fights with people online about Trump, like us all. And I think it's funny because some people are like, you know what, you just need to pray for him. You just need to pray that he'll make the right decision. I was like, that's like praying over my McDonald's meal to bless my body. Now that's a McFaith! Now my friend's obsessed with McDonald's and she ordered a quarter pounder. I haven't had McDonald's in like 5 years. But she got a quarter pounder and you guys, the cheese wasn't even melted on it. Doesn't American cheese melt at room temperature? What the fuck? Sorry. That's some disrespectful shit. And Donald Trump's like, yeah, like the Velveeta of presidents. Did you know, actually really quick, did you know that Velveeta was the first cheese product given the seal of approval from the American Medical Association? Ah! We're all fucked. Sorry, okay, moving along. I'm just trying to think of some with Donald Trump being the Velveeta of presidents. Fake, I don't know, maybe there's nothing there. Maybe there's nothing there.
Why is he like Velveeta?
Just fake as shit, but still selling off the shelves.
He's more like Kraft.
He tries to be government
I think
cheese, but he's
Velveeta
not.
is
He tries
Kraft.
to connect with government cheese, but he's not.
He's
You know
a
the
very
big government
suspicious
cheese
color.
blocks they used to give out to poor
I mean, he even looks like a block of Velveeta. Okay, but I don't know.
It's just Donald Trump is just not funny.
No, I know, but it's
just sad now.
it's really sad. Actually, that could have even been majority, guys. I'm gonna say something about Donald Trump, but it's so fucking sad. It's not even funny.
Tragedy plus time. No time has passed.
No time has passed. Let's move along. But I do think like people being like, just pray for him, and I'm like,
No,
yeah.
that is funny. No, I was just
Let me pray over my meal and hope this shit turns to food. It's gonna take a lot of
That's
prayer.
really funny.
It's gonna have to take a miracle.
Yeah.
Okay, well good, then that's done. Sorry, girl, I didn't block up enough time for you. Hold on, maybe I got something in here somewhere.
I like isn't American cheese supposed to melt at room temperature?
Yeah,
That was
it's really funny.
I don't get it. Yeah, I was like, you're gonna eat that shit? I have a friend that like loves McDonald's, has the app.
Yeah.
She's got the app. She really believes in it. Which I'm just like, you know, you're really smart, but
I like to like kind of scout out places like where homeless people sleep or like different like corners and stuff. Be like, that's a great place to sleep if I ever become homeless. And then I kind of want to just pause and be like, oh, is that just comedians who think that way?
That's really funny. That's a great joke.
Love it.
Do that homeless joke on Thursday.
Okay.
Okay, just trying out some things. See if we can do something with this one. So I've dated my fair share of winners. There was a guy in college who was something. He wore cargo shorts, had those like light up fingers, the glow fingers that you wear to like a rave. And I thought he was cool because at the time he was a drug dealer. He sold weed, which was illegal back then. Yeah, so bad. I knew he was going places, but I just wanted to like double check. So one day I was like, Geoff.
Geoff.
Yeah, Geoff. Jeff with a G. I was like, Geoff, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, what are you working towards? And he's like, I really want to be a stay-at-home dad. And I'm like, for that to work, you have to be a dad. Like, you have to be a father. You don't just get to stay at home. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, maybe start with plants.
Oh.
You know? Be a plant dad first. He actually was, though. He was, like, growing a lot of plants. Maybe, I don't know. It's not getting the laughs I want.
You can tell them to start with succulents.
Yeah,
That's first.
I feel like you could be like, well, I got some kids, and you can take them to the nursery.
Yeah.
You can bring it back. To
Yeah.
What if you were like,
that's
what
what
if you were like, so I said to him, Geoff. And he's like, it's Jeff.
Right,
Like you're trying to make it
I
Jeff.
was
so you're
like, Geoff. And he's like, it's Jeff.
I just like the idea that you're trying to make him, like, you're trying to make him fancy. Like, and he's just this really normal guy, like, cargo shorts, light up fingers.
Yeah. Gross.
What do you want to do with your life? I like that he wants to be a stay-at-home dad. there's something funny about that. No, I'm not saying I like it.
Because he literally just wanted to stay at home. Like he was like, he has the best gig because there was like a woman who was super successful and like his best friend's mom was super successful. So his best friend's dad got to be a stay-at-home dad. And he was like, he has the sickest gig ever. Like, I want to be a stay-at-home dad too. And I'm like, you just want to stay at home. I don't know. Maybe it's that way. Like you just want to stay at home instead of being like you have to be a dad.
Right.
I'm like, you just want to stay at home.
Yeah.
You know, you actually have to be a dad, right? Like you have to be a father to children.
Or maybe you could be like, or if you don't have any kids, then you could be like, so now it's just called being unemployed.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, hey, you don't have any kids. Like, where, like, I don't know, then it's kind of scary. I'm like, oh, he's trying to, like, wipe me up. No, he wasn't. But you know what I mean?
Right.
You don't have any kids.
So you got on the pill. Like, this could be
so I got on the pill, stat. I'm like, but you don't have any kids. Oh. Oh, that's funny. Like, Geoff, you don't have any.
Maybe you're having sex as this conversation, and then I pulled him out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I started the birth control pill, or that's when I went on the pill.
Yeah. I don't know if that's my best bit, but I was thinking about that again, and I thought it was funny. He works at Umami Burger at the Grove now.
There's one left?
Yeah, I guess.
The one in Studio City closed down, the one in, like, Toluca, or
because
not
Veggie
Toluca.
Grill is slaying.
But you have to do that, GF or whatever you call them, because that's really funny. Because I have a friend whose name
Geoff.
was a G,
Yeah,
and he calls himself Jeff. So that's why I think that's serious.
Yeah. You're like, but you have to say Geoff.
Geoff, what are you doing today? Like that's
Yeah.
I actually like that.
And then thank you. And then I had another idea. I know my time's up, so I don't know. But basically, I went to a yoga class the other day, and the teacher was like talking all about law of attraction and manifestation. And he's like, he was like, I woke up in the morning and I wanted a green tea latte for free. And I manifested it. Like, I just thought it was so funny. And I was like, that's not how it works. You know what I mean? So I feel like it would be funny for me to be like, I've been manifesting a lot lately. You guys, like, it's called The Secret. And then say something about yeah, the law of attraction, it's called The Secret. But I'm not really good at keeping them, so I'm gonna tell you guys about it. Or like something like, but I love to gossip, so I'm gonna tell you guys about it. And then be like, I've been manifesting a lot of things, and say like, I manifested a matcha latte today for free. I manifested, and like saying all the things that I manifested that are like not the way that it works. But it's not really a thing yet. And I don't know if it would be funny.
But that kind of is the way it works.
Yeah. Well.
You do put out there what you want, and then it happens.
Well, I'm still doing it that way. But you know how like you're supposed to pray for like God's will and not for like a car.
Oh, but you're talking about AA versus the law of attraction.
But like manifestation, when I listen to those Abraham Hicks tapes, she's like, don't think of the thing, think of the feeling that you'll have when you get the thing.
Yeah.
You could also be like, wow, you really set your goals high.
I swear to God, I was just thinking, how about aim higher?
Yeah, how about a job?
Yeah.
How do you manifest a job instead of a green tea latte?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, because you're so pathetic, I'll buy you another one. So now you've manifested 2.
That's funny.
That is really funny.
That's really funny. Yeah, because I was like gonna try to make it about me, but don't get me wrong, I'm definitely manifesting the things.
And here we are.
Okay, thank you.
You have to have the button, yeah.
I tried to tell I have a joke in my act where I was trying to explain The Secret to my psychiatrist. I was like, have you ever tried to explain The Secret to a psychiatrist? You sound insane. I mean, because I was like, no, Dr. Brady, thinking thoughts, bringing them to you, creating your own reality, manifesting. And she was like, writing.
Yes, wait, I I've seen you do that one.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah.
Did you ever do my
Oh
line
my
that I
God.
gave you for it? I just manifested $200.
Oh no! I forgot. I gotta do that because never had a punchline for that.
And then I have one where I was doing the law of attraction just when I first got out here, and I was like, yeah. So like I attracted a house. I just waited till they left, and, and then you just go to the dealership and drive away, and you manifest your car. Like I had all these things that I was basically stealing shit.
Is it your turn?
Well,
Oh, Courtney.
Courtney.
I have one. It's like really short.
Okay.
Alright, so I recently went out for margaritas with a bunch of my friends, and I read the menu, and there was like a light margarita, and I've been, trying to like work out and eat healthy. So I was like, oh, this one says half the calories. Perfect. So we all get our margaritas, and everyone gets a margarita that's like this big, and I get a margarita that's like this big. And it costs the same as the big margarita. And to be honest, that's probably what I deserved for thinking it was going to be that easy. It was easy.
I thought you were gonna go half the calories, so I drank 4 of them.
Yeah, I mean that is what I did. Doesn't count. It's like Bud Light, light.
Drink a 30-pack.
Yeah, but literally, it really was just a margarita that was half the size. And it's like, yeah, I understand that. I could do the math on that one, but I thought there was gonna be like, I don't know.
Well, maybe
something
you
that
could
was
say,
like
maybe you
calorie
could
free.
go. So then I said, well, make mine a double. Something.
Yeah, I'll take a
Leave
double.
her half the
Make
tip.
mine a double.
Yeah.
Leave her half the tip.
That's funny. Or you could say make mine a double, or you could say so I drank 4 of them. I mean, you could still add that as the extra as a punchline. Yeah. So I drank 4, and that left her half the tip. Yeah, that's funny. I think it's funny.
That's cool.
Nice.
Alright. Mine is short too.
Not really.
So just, okay, so I don't know if this is funny or not, but this is just true. So like I did this bit the last time we were here about like how crazy it is when people try to video chat you on Facebook and how whack it is, right? So as an update, I had my first video chat, you guys, and it's great because nobody told me that you can video chat with the fucking filter on. I was like, what? Oh my god, I look amazing. I can talk to you all fucking day with these hearts and like sprinkles outside of my face. It was like great. It was like, can I take this on the road with me? Like I just walk around so everybody can see me through the filter. Or anyway, so I just want to make a joke about that some kind of way because I was like very excited.
And what if there's a way to incorporate the Marco Polo joke?
Right, exactly. Like I have a whole, I guess I've been trying to build my Instagram, so like I'm on social media more than I usually used to be. But yeah, so I want to do a whole sort of chunks about like video chatting and the filter thing. And then also I was thinking too, wouldn't it be cool like in real life if you could the whole thing like with emojis, you know what I mean? Like you say something really crazy like, bitch, you smell horrible, smiley face or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You always say something real crazy and you'd be like, LOL, and then that negates all the bullshit you just said to somebody. Because I totally write like that. Like, I'm like, oh, LOL, and LMAO. Like, I totally can't fucking stand you. Ha ha ha, or the upside down smiley face or whatever. So somehow I want to incorporate my cyber life into the real world because who doesn't look better on Snapchat? So yeah, that's something I want to work on.
So it's a filter that has stars and stuff?
Well, okay, like when you do Snapchat or whatever, you can swipe and do all these different filters, right? Like, so sometimes you have the glasses, or you have the little ears, or you have the little, I think the one I had hearts around me.
Okay.
Or like sprinkles, or not like sparkles, like stars
like a
or
cat
something.
thing.
Yeah, all those little things. And I didn't realize you could do that while you're actually video chatting with the person. So I'm like, oh, I look fabulous. And you know, because at first that was like my biggest fear is that you look so ugly when they randomly call you. I'm like, I don't want you to see me in the morning and we haven't fucked yet. So, but now that there's filters, I'm like, oh, okay, we can totally do it. So that's.
There is something funny about like wanting to have a filter just in your everyday life.
Right, exactly.
Like, at your job.
Exactly.
Like sparkling parts coming out of your head.
Exactly. Walk around so everybody sees you and you look like, you know, a unicorn or something.
Right.
You just walk around
You
with
look like a
rainbows.
puppy dog. Today I want to look like a puppy.
You're just like,
and then talk like this.
Look at this. Yeah.
Exactly. You talk and like little like hearts come out of your mouth every time you speak to someone.
Yeah, what if you just like throw glitter in your face every time you say something?
Yeah.
And then people, I thought it was a filter. They thought I was a stripper. Yeah. Okay.
That's funny.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I'm working on that. All right. Thank you guys.
Well, you know, I was thinking of like if somebody was like sexting or whatever, and they actually had the filter on, and like the glasses go over your boobs, or like the beard goes down over your vagina. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you know, like you got a beard, so it's like you're showing somebody like, whoa, what's going on? And be like, oh, that's just my filter. It's like,
right. Or more importantly, he wanted a filter, and then when you saw how small his dick really was, it was a disappointment. Yeah.
Like, where's the stars on your?
I know exactly.
False advertising.
That was the unicorn.
Exactly.
Not the dick.
These ones are all super tiny. Alright. My mom was so happy when I was finally born, especially when she found somebody to take care of me for 3 years straight. Looking like Meryl Streep is awesome. I just wish she looked a little bit more like me. I love my family. They're really so much fun. I just can't be at the same continent as them. Foreigners aren't all that bad. Different languages, funny accents. I just wish I was one of them. Never mind. And then I had one. Let's see. Oh, I drive a blue Mustang. Her name is Blueberry. She's actually a Prius. Because I think that's. Let me see. Oh, I never minded one-night stands. I just hate remembering them.
When I what?
Wait, what would you say? What do you mean what?
So I never minded one-night stands.
One-night stand.
One-night stands.
I just don't. Oh, just hated remembering them. That's it. All one-liners.
Do you have any material in your act about looking like Meryl Streep?
Yes.
Mamma mia. That's what I'm gonna say. You maybe one of the things you could do is like, it's not Sophie's Choice, it's Elizabeth. You know, like somehow prepare. But you've done so many things.
Yeah.
Like somewhere where you, because she looks different in so many different films.
So what I have been doing lately is when people go, "This is not a great style," and I'll come up to stage and I'm like, God damn it, where's everybody mispronouncing my name? It's not that hard. It's Meryl Streep.
So there's something funny about maybe at Starbucks, they keep spelling my name wrong. They keep putting Meryl Streep, something like that.
Well, you've done a lot of different versions.
Yeah.
You used to say, you know, what's the other one you used to say?
My name is Anna Grant, and no, I'm not Meryl Streep playing a German comedian.
That's funny.
That's good.
I mean, you really do look like Meryl Streep.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have thought it, but as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, yeah.
You should turn to restaurants and be like, I'm Meryl Streep's daughter, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
But can you do an impression of her? But I swear there has to be a movie where she has an accent that's similar to what you're doing.
Like out of Africa, something like that.
You can do an impression where you just like
Yep.
Just don't do anything.
I did this. Do you remember the movie Julie and Julia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's on the DVD cover, she does this.
Oh yeah.
So been doing that too.
Isn't there something about like Meryl Streep's posture and how she carries herself, like the way she walks into a room, everyone's like, it's Meryl Streep, you know what I mean?
Should work on that.
Like, I don't know. I did one of those like Alexander technique classes and they were like, this is what Meryl Streep does.
She walks in just with her
Or
shoulders
just
back.
like,
She's a long
The Alexander method?
yeah.
One of my students was telling me to take that.
Yeah.
They said I would like it.
It's nice because it's kind of like yoga nidra and like posture.
What is it?
They just like touch you until you feel like your head is like not on your body.
Wow. That sounds fun.
That sounds
It does sound fun.
drugs without drugs.
Yeah.
Gotta find all the sorts
I
of-
can't think of anything.
I feel like there's got to be more Meryl Streep stuff. I think you should get something from a movie and do some lines as Meryl
Okay.
Streep
Gotcha.
and try to like do an impression of her because it'll be so cool. Because then everyone will see you that way, and then you can go. A lot of people think I look like Meryl Streep, and then you could go. Maybe this will help, and then do a line. A dingo ate my
Meryl Streep and
baby.
Live It Wild.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. A dingo. That's a good one.
But like really do like be dramatic. Like
Okay.
pick some really
Well,
dramatic line.
Right. The glacial pace line from Devil Wears Prada, I feel like everyone knows that one.
Oh yeah.
So maybe as you're going on
you
stage.
look most like the Devil Wears Prada version.
Yeah, throw the coat down.
Have shades. Oh my god, you should come in with the jacket.
There's something funny about that.
Yes, and throw the
Or like
jacket.
as you're watching the host
Put
walk
it on
off
the
stage,
mic
like by all
stand.
means walk at a glacial pace. There could be something funny about that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's funny.
All right. Good.
I'll watch
Your
another
Devil
Meryl
Wears-
Streep movie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's so much there.
I feel like
That'd
that
be
one
great.
would be easiest
God,
to like
yeah.
imitate
definitely.
because
Yeah,
her
yeah.
lips are so tight and she just stares. She just
Yeah,
like,
she's
by all
It got too
Yeah.
cold with this on.
walking a glacial pace.
Remember, I'm putting the air back on so you can close the window.
Right. She definitely is. That's the
Do you want
Devil Prada version.
Yeah.
do you want to go up to the front of the room and discuss this a little bit?
Sure, I'll just go over a couple of them with you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Good work, everybody.
Yeah.
Good work.
Okay, so I'm a writer, and I've written a lot of books, and comedy, and articles, and I just feel that if any of you guys, because something that I think really does come out of after you do stand-up is writing articles, writing stories, and plus some of these tips, and Lisa's gonna email you.
Yep.
These are my favorites. I teach writing too, and these are just some of my favorite tips that I give everybody to take with them. Okay, and some of these are things that you guys already do, but here would be one. After when you write, this is a really good tip. After you've written everything out, take out the first paragraph and the last paragraph, because people tend to. You don't have to write them down because she's going to send you everything. I'm just going to explain what a couple of them mean. A lot of times when you're writing long form, when you're writing a story, you tend to like give a lot of preliminary things that you don't realize you're doing because you're like explaining, then you get into the heart of your story, and then a lot of times people's natural impulse is to wrap it up. So then you kind of summarize and go back and what I was trying to say with everything I was saying was blah, 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 which nobody ever really needs. So sometimes you can look and you can just take out the first paragraph and the last paragraph and there you have it. And then just make a nice button to the end. Okay, so that's one thing. The lead in the first line. So first lines are really important. So that's good for when you do stand up, right? Your opening line should be something kind of catchy. Something that's a little startling, something that's a little funny, that's a little unique. Like that's why even for you, Jane, when you were up here, I was like, I think it's funny to just open with "So I'm a basic bitch." You know, this is funny. It's kind of startling. It gets people. Sometimes people tend to explain a lot at the beginning, even just doing stand-up, right? Like you hem and haw a lot before you get into it. Sometimes it's good to just look through your set and go like, what's something funny I could just say right off the bat that will almost stop people in their tracks. also, this is like just a little tip. If you do have something funny, this is not really about writing, but and you don't want to feel rushed, like you don't want to just say your funny line and have it be lost, is really like take a moment, instead of being nervous and making people think you're nervous and going, all I can think of is to say hemming and hawing. But you know when you go like, hey, or how are you guys doing? Are you having fun tonight? And you do all that. Instead of that, sometimes it helps to just pause. Take a breath, look at the audience, own the space, and then say your funny line. So you're not rushing, but you're also not filling the space with chatter, because then it can make you seem a little bit nervous. So think about that, and like maybe look in your act and see if you have a funny like first opening line. Okay. Be honest. That's a big one when you're writing, especially if you're writing autobiographical things. If you're writing articles, you know, the more honest you are and the less you try to sugarcoat and make people think you're better than you are, the more relatable your writing is going to be, and the more sellable your writing is going to be. Because people want to read from people that are imperfect. You know, they want to relate. They don't want it to be aspirational. Like, it's not, you know, Pinterest. It's an article. You want to engage people, so you want to show your foibles, and you want to show your weakness, and you want to show people that, hey, I'm just like you. I'm not perfect. And I think that's the kind of writing that's really sellable. I don't know if any of you guys are trying to be writers or write articles, but if you are, if that's something you're interested in, it's really important. It's much more important than being a good writer and being flowery or having your writing sound really polished and professional. What people want to buy is honesty and a story that you have to tell. And especially, honest usually means self-deprecating, so that's good. Be self-deprecating, you know? And be self-deprecating when you're writing stand-up too, which all of you guys are. Nobody in here was, I mean, I think it's just really important. If you ever notice sometimes when you're listening to a comedian and they're not relatable, and it's because they're not doing a character, but also it's almost like they're embarrassed to show you who they really are, so they make themselves sound a little better, or like they're being snobby, but they're not making fun of themselves. It can be a turnoff, you know, and then you sort of stop listening because the person doesn't sound real, and they sound like they don't have a real good vision of who they are. Okay. Well, this is really for writing, but have a shocking title. Titles are really important when you're writing, even if you're just writing an article. Shocking just means different, ballsy, you know, out of the box. Like something that people are like, what? Oh, that's brave. You know, don't be boring when you're writing your title. This is the first people think, oh, here's a good one for you guys. Don't ask for permission. Basically, in other words, don't ever say, in my opinion, or like in my humble opinion, or basically we all know it's your opinion. You know, if you're on stage, it's your opinion. So own it if you're on stage. Don't say like, oh, maybe it's just me, or I think this, or, you know, that's your opinion. So we all get it's your opinion. Well, it's the same thing in writing too. You don't want to say like, well, it might be just my opinion. You're the one writing it, so just like being on stage, like take ownership of yourself and your opinions, and don't apologize. Don't apologize on stage, and don't apologize when you write. That's going to make you seem, if you don't apologize, more confident. People want to buy confidence. Okay. Sorry.
Going back to your real thing, honesty, I think that's the direction that all stand-up is going now. I mean, everyone's very real.
Yeah.
You know, I sometimes have students come in here that try and tell jokey jokes, and they just don't work anymore. Like, audiences don't want to hear that. They just want to. They want to hear, and that wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work.
Well, and storytelling is really popular now, and it's getting even more popular in things like The Moth, and there's a lot of storytelling shows, and all that is like, if you, first of all, do you guys listen to The Moth? Do you know what it is?
No.
Okay, so for anybody that doesn't, it's a storytelling show. It originated in New York, and it's like it's not a, well, sometimes it's a contest. They do like these like storytelling slams, and they will have a winner. And then those people sometimes go on and get to do it on a bigger stage. But really, it's like an open mic for storytelling. And you do a 5-minute story. Some of them are even shorter. Some of them are longer. But the general thing is you go and you sign up, and if they pull your name, then you get to tell a story. And then, so there's a podcast called The Moth that you should check out. It's really, like some of the stories are really interesting. The best stories, of course, are the most honest, you know, they're like true stories that happen to people. But I will tell you that the best stories on The Moth are always from comedians. Because you already have a leg up as a storyteller, because a lot of storytellers are boring, right? So the people that are funny, that already have a natural sense of humor and throw jokes in there, their stories always do the best, you know, because they're not always expecting it. So if you have a sense of humor about you, so I'm saying, and they do storytelling shows in LA too. I think they do a version of The Moth in LA. Mm-hmm. But you can be seen at these kind of shows and get stuff out of it. So like you said, you did one.
I did it for The Moth.
The dating naked one?
Yeah.
At The Moth?
Yeah.
Oh, was it here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they do. Was it like a regular show they do?
It was a story time. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Were you scared?
You know what? I wasn't scared. I went a couple of times. The first time my name didn't get picked, and I'm so thankful it wasn't picked because the story was not ready yet. And the second time I went, I probably rewrote the story 100 times. And practiced it a million times. And when I went out there, I was just like, I love this story, and I'm so excited to tell it to people. So I wasn't nervous.
Oh, good. And how did it go?
It went amazingly.
Do you have it memorized or do you read it?
That's what it should feel in stand-up, right? I can't wait to get up there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to share what I have to say.
I couldn't wait to tell people about it because I love that story and I think it's hilarious.
That's how I feel about writing. Like I feel like when I've done shows, I haven't done a storytelling show where I've memorized it, but I've done reading shows, and I always feel that way. Like if it's a good piece of writing, then I can't wait.
You're proud.
And it's a story. Yeah. So, yeah, and I just agree, honesty. So honesty in writing, just in general, across the board, you know, keep it real. And tell embarrassing stuff. Like that's the stuff that people want to hear. People want to hear embarrassing stories. Watching comedy, and I remember when I first, like, you know, in the 80s, loved comedy, that's the way it was. It was like watching Paula Poundstone, watching some of these older comedians at the time that would tell stories just about like eating too much and binging on cookies. I remember thinking like, oh my God, I can't believe they're saying that. I remember listening to like, I don't know, Monica Piper, one of these comedians talking about eating all the Pepperidge Farm cookies because she kept eating down to the little thing that separates the sections and then removing that and then having one more cookie and then being like, well, I gotta eat down to the next section and then eating all the cookies. And I was like, it seemed really scandalous at the time that I was like, I want to do that. Like, I want to tell embarrassing stuff. That seems so freeing. And I think you're right. I think it's gotten back to that. Oh, okay. See, it's hard because this isn't really a writing class, but when you start writing something, you'll revisit this and you'll see what I mean. Use a lot of periods. So don't get commas, semicolons. They create a lot of run-on sentences. Shorter sentences are always better. It's sharper writing, and it's more dramatic. So when you're writing, and throw away rules like you're writing. What you're trying to do is not sound perfect. You're trying to sound conversational. So start a sentence with the word "and." Start sentences with "but." You can start You can start a new paragraph with the word "but." I mean, you really can. You have to feel your writing. Feel where your pauses are. And when you're making a pause, put a period. I know it sounds very like we're not sitting and writing right now, but when you go to do it, you're going to see what I mean, because this is a mistake people make, especially I see it with my kids, younger kids, when they're writing and you get taught to use a lot of
proper
commas.
punctuation, yeah.
But real writing these days is not about being like correct and grammatically correct. I mean, you want to have decent grammar because you don't want people to be like silently correcting your grammar. But you don't have to pay attention to a ton of rules, because basically your goal when you're writing, when you're doing stand-up, when you're writing an article, is to write the way you speak, the way you communicate. Okay? So people should feel like they're having a conversation with you. They shouldn't feel like they're reading anything that's like academic or teaching them something or perfect. They should feel like they're having they should feel like they're sitting down and having coffee with you. or wine with you or whatever they're having with you. And in order to do that, go over and over your writing and make it less perfect. And start sentences in a weird way. And find ways to, and that does not mean like writing in all caps or doing anything like that, or writing LOL or writing it. I'm saying just figure out what your cadence is when you're speaking and write it that way.
I feel like you could kind of apply that to stand-up. Like when you are on stage and you're setting up a joke, you can end with a period. When you're talking, like a lot of comedians will go, so I was driving the other day, and this, when they end their sentences up, and I even do it still to this day, but I try to be conscientious of it, because it's like a subconscious request for approval.
Exactly.
Instead of just going, so I was driving the other day.
You taught downward tone.
Yeah.
Sales. Like, if I want to get started? Then be like, let's get you started. Like, there's a different way of
Yeah.
It's all about confidence. So it's all about, like Lisa just said, not asking people for approval. So a lot of these tips are really that. You're not saying like, oh, well, in my opinion, you can't write worried about what people think. You have to just write your opinion. Because the best writing, really the best stand-up, the best writing, the best communicating is people are going to really, really love it, or they're really not. And that's fine. I feel like all the books I've written have gotten some horrible reviews, which is great. It wasn't great the first time that happened to me. I thought that was horrible until my editor told me that. He was like, oh, getting a 1-star review is just as good as getting a 5-star review.
They bought the book.
They bought the book and they're having a reaction to it, right? So you found your audience, and this person that gave you 1 star is not your audience. Well, if somebody is that opposed to you, then somebody else is going to be that into you. I mean, unless you're writing something like just super offensive, and that's why people are not liking it, right? But if you're writing something that's, I mean, I wrote, my first book was about having a baby, and it was really about all the things that I was admitting to not bonding right away, and not, hating breastfeeding, and all these things that I wrote about. And so some women were like, oh my God, you're a horrible person for saying these things, and this book is dangerous, and you're putting out terrible messages. And other women were like, oh my God, you're my new best friend. I can't believe I found this book. You're speaking, I felt like you were talking just to me. Well, that's really kind of how your stand-up should be in a way, and how anytime if you write an article, if you're writing personal writing, that is, okay? So if you're writing something like somebody assigns you some article to write, that's a little different. If you're writing personal essay writing, storytelling, you want people to either be like, whoa, you're my favorite. Write. My editor once told me this, which he said, write like you're writing to your best friend. Because that's who you're talking to. So even when you're doing stand-up, right, talk to the audience like they're your friend. They're already on your side. Talk to them like they're your crowd. Because I think that's a mistake that a lot of people make, and a lot of people make it in writing. You're not trying to win them over. Imagine you've already won them over. Imagine these are your people. Maybe out of an entire audience, only 10 of them will be. But if 10 of those people are your audience and they leave going, oh my gosh, she was my favorite, you've done your job. I mean, I've gone to shows of yours where I was like, where somebody didn't even have a great set, and I was like, okay, that person was my favorite. They are going to be a star. So it doesn't really matter it really doesn't matter if you kill how many laughs you get, because you can kill and be a mediocre comedian. You're just having a good night.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can have a terrible set and be a freaking genius. And it doesn't mean that your timing was off. It just means that, like, those people were not necessarily your people, right? So every time you deliver your act, it needs to be pretty much the same. Like, you're doing the same thing. You're delivering it to your people. You can't suddenly, like, change it up in the middle to try to get approval for people that might not be your people. That's the thing that is scary about doing stand-up. Less scary about writing, because you're not writing in front of people, right? You're writing, and then later you'll find out if they were your people. But that was a trick that I did So later when you're writing really personal stuff, it helps you to feel like, okay, I'm writing this to my friends. I'm writing this to people that already get me, that already like me, that already think I'm funny. So think about that when you're, and don't think about like, okay, I have to figure out how to make this like as funny and accessible as possible. You don't. Fuck people that don't get you. Okay? You have a lot of ideas. So that's good for stand-up and for regular writing, right? Don't get stuck on like one idea that you're like, okay, I've got to make this work. Maybe you pitch an idea, say to an editor, or maybe you're pitching to a magazine and they're like, no, I don't like that. Well, have 4 more behind it that you're like, well, I can also write about this. I'm going to be doing a series of webinars for a company, and I had to experience this because I came in with some ideas, and the guy was right away like, no, I don't want to do that. And in my mind, I was truly like, I think he's missing the boat on this. Like, this is a really good idea. It was for this mental health thing. But I didn't go like, no, I really think we need to do this idea. I'm going to do some job interview. So I was like, yeah, no problem. Okay, I have another, here's another one. Gave him another one. Then eventually I was like, well, I'll go home and like come up with some stuff and like send it to you. But I think it's important not to get like bogged down with what, if you're doing a bit and it's not working, then move on and try something else, right? Okay. I'll just do a couple more. You can take them all off with you. So don't be afraid of what people think. Okay. This is kind of going along with what we're saying, but for each person that you worry about, deduct 1% in from your writing. Everybody has deductions. I have to deduct about 10% right off the top. Maybe there's 10 people that I'm worried about. Some of them are bad people, and some of them are people that I just don't want to offend. So my writing, or your comedy might only be at 90%. Right? Because of course there are going to be people that you're worried about. There's sometimes you're going to be thinking about a bit and like, well, I don't want to really say this about my mother because like, she might be offended. So everyone's going to have that. But in general, try not to give a fuck. Okay, this is really purely a writing tip. But, well, I guess it might extend to stand-up comedy too, but even though this goes against a couple other things I've said, don't hurt anybody. And that basically means, like, don't make fun of somebody who's, like, don't punch down. Don't talk about somebody that you really would feel bad if they found out, right? Because that's not what we're trying to do. So there's partially don't give a fuck, right? But at the same time, do think about, like, if you're telling a story about, like, your brother, and your brother might find out that you told the story and it's really mean, like, well, that's not necessary, I guess is my point. So sometimes I just try to think about that in my writing. If I'm telling a story about my stepfather, fuck him. But if I'm telling a story about my brother, sometimes I just try to be conscious of, like, would his feelings be hurt? Like, if he read this, and if they would, maybe there's another way I can say it, so that the joke is, try to keep the joke and try to keep stuff self-deprecating if you can, and not like mean and something that you might feel bad or regretful about afterwards. Risk. So most people play it too safe. So take risks in your writing and in your stand-up. And everybody should have a bit that they feel a little bit uncomfortable saying. You know what I mean, Lisa? Mm-hmm. Right? Everybody should have something that makes you a teeny tiny bit nervous that you're about to say it, that you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying this. Like, what are people gonna think? First of all, it's more fun to perform that way when you're like, I have had some bits where I'm like, oh my god, this is like so ridiculous that people may hate me. I feel like first time whenever I do a smelling vagina bit, it's always funny because, so I have a joke, I don't know if Lisa's told you, where I go, I have a really smelly vagina, and then sometimes I go, I'm going to try out a new joke, I go, I have a really smelly vagina. And people are horrified by that. And then I go, Lisa!
Yeah?
I've got to give you your joke back. Because when you wrote it, it's better for you because it was like coming from a real place when you wrote that joke. I go, it's not believable when I say it. And every time when I wanted to do that joke, I'd get a little bit nervous because it's a risk, because like you're just saying something so gross, and you know people are gonna be like, what? Until they get to the punchline, and then it's even funnier. Even funnier. So if there's something that you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, say it, because it's probably gonna be really funny. And the same thing in your writing. A lot of times, like the most personal stories I've written are the ones that really stood out that people remember. Oh, here's one. This is just a general writing tip. Use said instead of any other word. Don't try to get fancy and go, he replied, or I exclaimed, or any of those words. Said is fine. And you'll remember that when you're writing, because people naturally have a thing where you're like, well, I want to try to make it sound a little bit fancier, like I'm a good writer. So people use those words and it sounds very middle school. If you try to use those, my daughter does it, she's 13, it's appropriate, but I so have to fight the urge to go, you don't need to say all that. Like, that's impressive to your middle school teacher, but not to people reading. Be opinionated. Okay, have a strong opinion when you're writing, when you're on stage. Like, it doesn't matter what other people think and if other people don't agree with you. So the same way that don't apologize or say, like, in my opinion, be opinionated, have a strong point of view. You know, be sure of what you're talking about, and be that way when you're writing too, because people don't want to read something where you're like, I mean, I don't know, you could be right. I mean, maybe I'll look at it another way. No, if you have something to say, then like, that's why you're writing, right? People are reading you because they want to hear your opinion, because they want to hear your take on something. So have a take and be strong in it, and don't apologize. Okay, there's more on here, but I think those are enough. So be funny, last line, write every day, and yeah.
I'm gonna email you guys that document. And there's how many tips are on there? Like 20, right?
Okay, yeah, I have one more though. This goes along. Don't write. Okay, don't write if you're upset with somebody. And so sometimes I call this like therapy writing. You know, so sometimes you're like really upset with somebody, and then so you start writing about them, and like that's not good for publishing. That's great for like reading to your therapist or, you know, burning later, but it's never gonna come out as real and sort of like you're a balanced human being. It's going to come out like you're mad, and it's going to probably be something that could hurt the other person. So it's kind of like the tragedy plus time. If you're upset with somebody, like now's not the time to write about like breakups suck. For instance, I dated this one guy who was a real fucking asshole, and he broke up with me yesterday, and let me tell you some shit about him. Like, people are going to read that and be like, you know, wait like a few weeks until you have a little bit of like levity about the situation, perspective. Okay. Any questions? Yeah.
I guess just I really appreciated the part about like for your finding your people, you know, and like the 10 people in the audience. Because I do feel like some people always say the stuff about like when you're on the road and like things like that of like you need to appeal to everybody and you'll find like.
Well, first of all, I mean, this is just my opinion, but most of you are not going to be road comics. I mean, it's just not really a thing anymore. So probably you're going to go straight. I mean, you want to be able to appeal to crowds if you're really going to be like just a comedian. But like most of us are not trying to be like just comedians, right? You're trying to develop your voice and develop an act and maybe get acting jobs or be a writer or have a brand or be an Instagram star or whatever you're trying to be. I think you need to learn how to be yourself on stage and express that. And I think if you're too worried about just writing jokes that like are going to appeal to people like in Kentucky, you're going to have a real upward battle.
Yeah. Kentucky.
I mean, look, for example, I have a very specific act that doesn't work in places like Vegas. And I remember Lisa came with me to Vegas. I was really nervous. I had been writing for a number of years. I hadn't really done that much stand-up, and I got booked to do a gig in Vegas, and I was like, okay, like I'm gonna do my act. I'm gonna be me up there, and it did not work at all. So then I had to sit down with some friends and be like, okay, what are just some kind of jokey jokes that I could do? And then I did that for a night, and I did better. But then I kind of reincorporated the kind of me jokes again for the weekend crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's hard. Like, but if you're going up at places, especially in LA, you're gonna find your people in the audience.
Yeah.
They're there for that. They're not there to just hear like really jokey jokes. They're there to hear your take on life.
Yeah.
So I say work on being you, and then as you're doing that, the jokes will come. Like, you know, as you practice writing jokes, I mean, sure, you want to have punchlines, but being accessible to everybody, no, find your people. Yeah. Anybody else have a question?
I do have a question on the writing tip.
Yeah.
So how do you like really, I mean, I guess you've been doing it so long, but how do you really break out time to write every day? Like,
well, I don't. I mean, you should try. I mean, maybe just, even if it's like 10 minutes sometimes, I feel like you could sit down. I mean, some days you'll write more, but I try to give myself really small goals. So sometimes I'll just, maybe it's just writing an email to somebody I haven't talked to in a while, and then making it long and like putting in some stuff. And then I might save the email because I might feel like I was describing my day. But it's the same thing as like sitting down and writing a little stand-up every day. It's like the more ideas will flow, the more you do it. So the more you sit down, even if you tell yourself, I'm going to sit down for 5 minutes and just write some funny stuff that happened today. Like for me, I do podcasts. So I will sometimes write down, like if something kind of funny happened, I'll at least jot down like a little bit of the story. Like if I went to Universal Studios with my kids and it was like whatever thing irritated me about it that I know I'm going to want to bring up on my podcast later, I don't want to forget like the funny parts of it. So I'll just sit down and like write it. But when I was writing a book, then I was on a deadline. So then I had to write every day. So you could give yourself a deadline, or you could pitch a story to a magazine, and if the magazine says they want it, then you're going to automatically be on a deadline, and then you'll find the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is like such a silly, like technical question that I'm like embarrassed to ask, but I'm like so into like writing in the journal that like I don't really type on my computer that much more unless I'm like writing a script and it's like for a thing that I'm making with friends or blah blah blah. And I feel like I need to like write on my laptop more.
Everybody does it differently though.
No, I just
know
feel like
professional writers that
organizing.
still write everything longhand, and then when they have to go turn it into an editor, they hire somebody to like take all their longhand and type it.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I just feel like it's all going to get lost in these journals or like.
I have a lot of journals. I have a lot of old. When I was trying to practice writing, like trying to be a writer, and I was trying to be like, okay, every day I'm going to write for 10 minutes. Tons of stuff with just notebooks.
I do that in notebooks, but
yeah,
I feel like I need
them.
to do it on my computer.
Why?
I don't know, just
do it like once a week on your computer or something.
Feel the flow.
Well, I think that's the point, however it flows for you best, because I'm definitely, like, I have a million notebooks, and then, like, when I'm getting on my computer, my hand starts cramping or whatever, so I'm, like, I'm not even always comfortable on the
I feel like sometimes better ideas come out when you're writing.
It feels like more like you
so too. That's why I do
brain
it.
it's more
But then
brain
I'm like,
writing.
I feel like out of the game with my computer.
Plus, you can sell them for billions of dollars.
Like I just use my phone in this notebook.
I think a lot of people write in notebooks. That's why so many stores sell journals. People write in them.
Okay, I guess it's not.
But not in cursive.
I write better on my computer, but that's so me. That's just personal
I guess
to me.
sometimes I feel like it just, I don't know, like it gets lost in here, you know, like in the journal abyss where I'm like, if I was typing on a computer, like I'd be like, oh, this is half a blog post, and then it'd
if
be
you
like,
write
you know,
something in your journal or in your notebook that you really like, then go type it out on your computer. You know what I
simple
mean?
as that.
Or get a computer
And you
to
can
type
write a
on
whole
your
bunch, and then maybe when you go to write it in your computer, you'll rewrite it and you'll leave out stuff that you're like, oh, that was extraneous.
Yeah.
Just
I
divide it
need
on
to
your
like get in
desktop.
more of a habit of like tacking it on.
I need to figure out an organizing habit because I write and it's all over crazy, like no focus.
And the only thing I was going to say too, to piggyback on what you said earlier about finding people, I took this other comedy class in New York, and that was like the biggest thing I got from that class. It was like, you get to a certain level, you're looking to build a fan base. You're not looking for like everybody to think you're funny, because after I took that class, I did have a couple of jokes that I was like afraid to say. And it was so cool because once I said them, people in the audience, like I had a joke about no longer dating or fucking black guys. And I was always afraid to do it in front of an all black audience, and they did boo me sometimes. Like sometimes the guys started booing, like boo, but the women, because I had a reason why I felt that way, and the women would come after me, you know, after the show and be like, oh, I feel the same way, or, you know, or I had a joke about being the only black kid in school, and they'd be like, oh, my cousin, and those were the sets I always felt like the person remembered what I said, they weren't just like, oh, she was funny. Like they really felt me, and so now after that, I'm like, okay, if you have to take the L, because there's going to be someone in that audience that's like, oh, okay, she really touched me with what she said, you know? So,
yeah. That's a good point. It's a really good point, Erica.
Yeah, I always find that people that are the most, like, different or just really goofy or really, you know, weird or what?
Risk takers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you remember how much, like, Al Vine stood out to me when she did her set, that you've told me she bombs a lot.
Yeah, she does sometimes. Yeah.
But, like, because she's doing all that stuff about being attracted to her brother. I mean, that's just so, it's just so funny to me that, because you can tell it, she means it.
No, Al Vine. She did the vision board party with us.
She's just so, like, when I was watching her, but she just does it with such confidence in my mind that she's, like, as if, like, isn't everybody have a brother they're attracted to? Like, you know, I just feel like that kind of thing is so, it's hard to shock people anymore, you know? So it's not even about being shocking, it's just about being so honest that people are like, you're saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel the room cringe when you do it too, it's kind of fun. I tell a story about getting eaten out on my period. And then making out with the person afterwards without knowing it, and everyone's like, what's on your face? And I was like, barbecue sauce. But like,
it's like witchcraft, they will love you forever.
That is so funny.
If they drink your blood, they'll love you forever.
You got to, those are the rules.
Well, and I was just trying to go back to the campfire, and everyone's like, what the fuck happened? And I was like, I don't fucking know.
That is hilarious.
Ribs. I don't know. Yeah, no, it was pretty fucking embarrassing.
Oh my god.
Your diaper story always sticks with me too.
I know. I'm always like, do I just have a down to diaper face? This girl will wear a diaper tonight.
Oh.
And I met a guy who asked me to wear a diaper, and then I was about to leave the room, and he's like, I was joking. I'm like, you know, I'm like, well, this is about where you find out you're about to be murdered. What do you tell them? You're like, hell yeah, I'd wear that diaper. That sounds great. I'm just gonna go to the car, gonna smoke, and I'll be right back with that diaper. And then he's like, and I go to the door, and he's like, wait. And I turn around, and he takes his pants off, and he was wearing a fucking diaper the whole night. He was like 26. He wasn't like, you know. So every time I see him, like, no, every time someone says they went to Arizona State, I'm like, anybody from Arizona freaks me out. I apologize to anybody from Arizona.
Florida. Oh my god, one of my students has an Arizona State joke. Are you doing that bit on Thursday night? Diaper bit?
I can diaper bit it. I haven't done it in a while. I should probably pop it out. Just walked right past that red flag.
You'll be calling her. I mean, she's doing a joke about how she just doesn't. Goes to UCLA and she doesn't feel like she fits in because she's never had a threesome. And then she goes, I knew I should have went to Arizona State.
Oh, good. I'll call her back and be like, let me tell you about Arizona State.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, he's like, there's some Scotch tape in the drawer if they don't attach. These are Huggies, right? They're like.
Can you imagine?
This is the first night I met these people too. We're all just drinking. We went back to their house to party, and I was just like, he's like, that's the one. She'll do it. I don't know. I just feel like I was like, do I need to, like, what about me? What do I got to change? Do I got to get like something done here? Like, I trust her. She's down to diaper.
I trust her.
I was like, at least pop the diaper on the third date. Come on. Just like pop Kesha out once you're in the honeymoon. Once you got a ring on it.
And then tell them what you did when you got in the car. You were like, hit it. We got to get it.
Run! I like hit a garbage can. I was like, fuck y'all, bitches, I'm out. I was like freaking out. And I told everybody, my friend was with his friend, and I was like, he has a diaper. Get the fuck out of whoever's car. The guy's wearing a diaper.
That's insane.
It was quite a. And then I went to work the next day, and I had this like huge weight on my heart. And I was like, oh my god, you guys. So then I go to the smoking circle, and I'm like, you guys, I'm sorry, I just got to get this off my chest. So I told the whole story. They're like, what the fuck? And then people started being like, actually, I had a guy ask me to shit in his mouth for 20 minutes. Like, it was just like a bunch, and everybody starts spilling their guts. I'm like, I feel so much better. I feel so much better about that.
I had a guy ask me to shit in his mouth.
And I was like, yeah, for 30 Bitcoin.
People drink.
30 Bitcoin, I might do it.
I have 2 students who dated plastic surgeons.
Oh, boy.
And both of these guys wanted her to pee on them.
Oh my god.
What?
It's a big,
They're kinky.
Yeah.
it's a big
2
thing.
different girls that dated 2 different plastic surgeons, and both the plastic surgeons, that was their thing. Pee on me.
That's the first scene of the show Billions on Showtime.
Yeah, it was so good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. People getting peed on, man.
I used to sell my
That
pee
is so
for
weird.
drinking.
There you go. We're waiting for Amber to chime in with her truth. People sell it to drink.
I did.
Wow.
To
I
drink?
need to get on that.
People drink pee?
What do they pay?
This one.
$20 a glass.
Oh,
but you could like shot glass, like so you could like
Okay.
pee a little bit and
Girl.
like spread
What
them out.
website do I have to get on?
It was back in the day. It was like selling crap.